This is me fighting over 100 bosses in one night to try to get every single one of the developer sets in Terraria. Not only that, but I have to beat every boss multiple times over, build a bunch of different farms to maximize enemy drop efficiency, get every NPC, get every set of wings, get every kind of balloon, get every pair of boots, beat the hardest stage of every event, get every part of the cell phone multiple times over, and do tens of hours of fishing to get every single accessory in Terraria. This is an incredibly difficult challenge and it's gonna take more than 100 hours to complete, so I need to start with some basic idea of what to do. So a lot happens while I'm creating the world, so I'm going to explain the challenge while I'm creating my character. There are 434 total accessories, but almost 100 of those are music boxes, and that's another challenge entirely, so I'm not gonna get all of those. There's a few other things I'm gonna exclude, like the moss fishing bobbers because it's just me waiting for the angler, and also only one string and golf ball because dies is also really repetitive. Now that that's out of the way, let's go into the world I'm using. There's a couple of items that are only found in chests, specifically the Band of Regeneration, and that I need a few of, so I chose a large world. Of course I'm not a loser, so I picked Master Mode like the Chad I am, plus I need the Expert Mode exclusive things from bosses. Then I have to pick between the Corruption and the Crimson. There's a lot to consider here, so I'll sum it up real quick. The things that come from the orbs and hearts don't matter because you can swap them out at a graveyard. The actual choice is with the Biomimics and their drops. The Putrid Scent that drops from Corrupt Mimics is used for 4 accessories, while the Flesh Knuckles that drop from Crimson Mimics are only used for 3. That is the only reason why Corruption is better for this. After creating 2 extra worlds because I'm stupid, we're actually playing the game. I built a house for the guide and explored a bit. I'm not really focused on collecting accessories right now because I kinda just wanna not die. I found a step stool in the Corruption and went back to the right and found a living tree with another step stool. Living wood chests don't have any accessories, but they sometimes spawn regular chests that have things like aglets, which I need a lot of. Then I found the desert, which didn't have a pyramid, which is really bad. I've talked about this a bit before, but here's why. There's one accessory that's only found in pyramids, and it's the flying carpet. You're probably thinking about fishing crates or shimmering the Pharaoh set, but no, neither the carpet or the Pharaoh set come from fishing crates, so if I don't have a pyramid, it's just screwed. Spoiler alert, I played this world for 8 hours on the first day and got word there wasn't a pyramid, so I opened up a map editor to look for one, and lo and behold, there is not one pyramid on the entire map, meaning all 8 hours I spent are now gone and I have to restart the whole challenge. Anyways, now we have Jack of all trades 2 on a new world with the same settings praying for a pyramid. After another house for the guide and merchant, I found the desert and a pyramid wasn't even underground. It had a flying carpet luckily, so that means this run is going all the way. I did proceed to immediately die to a jungle slime, but after that I got my coins back and found another living tree with an aglet and a finch staff. And then on my way back, I died to a man-eater and then a zombie on my way back, so I'll just wait to go back to the jungle. I died a lot on my first night because I built the houses out of platforms, but that's only going to be an issue for these first few nights. I died to a demon eye here, and the tombstone that I dropped manages to stay here for the next 100 hours of the playthrough because it's just far enough away for me not to care about it. It's about time I start on normal progression, so I started digging down. This tunnel is going to be a elevator later, so while it's night, I might as well make some progress there. I was mostly focusing on ores, then I found a gold chest with some shoe spikes, then found a minecart track. I mined a ton of ore before finding a glowing mushroom biome with 2 gold chests. One had a magic mirror and the other had a flare gun. Plus, I also got a life crystal. I dug down and found 2 more gold chests, one with another magic mirror, and one of the 4 Banes of Regen that I need. Then I saw some platinum underground, so I used some bombs and proceeded to kill myself with them. So I took the time back at home to set up some more chests and empty out my inventory, but then I hopped right back into the cave. I'm kinda just winging it at this point because I want armor so I can fight a boss, probably King Slime because I just found a ruby gem tree. Eventually I ended up in a box surrounded by slimes and bats, so I made a tungsten bow and tried to escape. I managed to trap them with a dirt wall, so I just continued mining platinum. I was just over halfway to get a full platinum armor set, but I had to keep retreating from slimes and got backwards long jumped by a crawdad, but it dropped the rally, so that's pretty good for me with my wood sword. I'm making sure to kill most crawdads and giant shellies because they can drop both depth meters and compasses. I need to get not the cell phone, but the PDA, which is the cell phone minus the magic mirror. And because I'm getting every accessory, I need the PDA, the 4 pieces of the PDA, and all 12 of the uncombined parts, so 3 of each of the 12. I'll talk more about the other parts later, but for now that's why I'm actually killing things instead of running past. I found another minecart track and 2 life crystals and a gold chest with another band of regen. The track led into another mushroom biome with 2 veins of platinum and a gold chest and 2 life crystals. I got 1 crystal and had a coward from a shelly and spotted something to my left. An enchanted sword, not in a sword shrine, which is pretty rare. I tried to get to the chest and almost died, but I got another magic mirror plus the other life crystal. I kept going right and found another chest with a cloud in a bottle and a cabin that had another flare gun. I was making my way back to the enchanted sword, so I dug to kill things and got both a compass and a hook, which is really nice. I did finally get my sword and found 2 magic mirrors back to back and then a 3rd band of regen. I found a chest with a mace and also a nymph. I need to get 3 metal detectors, so getting one now is nice because I hopefully won't have to set up a dedicated farm for them later. My inventory was packed, so I went home and sold a lot of stuff like 3 of the 4 magic mirrors. With that money, I was able to buy a pylon for later. I built another house and was easily able to get a full set of platinum armor. I'm chilling at 20 defense and 260 health, so I can probably fight a boss soon-ish. I took the time to expand my home with 2 more layers of platforms and put down chests that will have the accessories in them. I made a loom and a white string while I waited for the night to be over. I went to the corruption to grab a musket and to start on an arena. I popped another orb and got the light pet, and now it's raining slime. I was really hoping to get a band of star power because I need a bunch of those and I really want to keep fishing to a minimum. While I'm fighting slimes, I'll say the only 2 things I have right now are a band of regen and a white string, so I don't count the things currently equipped. Since I'm fighting King Slime, I tried to finish my arena before anything crazy happens. This ends up with a ton of slimes below me, letting me get a ton of kills. I'm really waiting to fight King Slime, and when he does spawn, I'm chilling in the arena and fly above when things get hairy. I stopped to heal the nurse and switched to the musket to focus damage only on the boss. He goes down and I add the royal gel to my collection. Also, my guide's name was Andrew, so when he died during the fight, he dropped a green cap, which replaced my toad cap. I swapped my hook out for a slime hook and placed the trophy above the chests up top. I ran over to the desert to build some houses for a pylon eventually. Something that's weird with this platform house I built is that the slimes can't move in for some reason, which is kind of nice because then I don't have to worry about them getting in the way of an NPC I'm trying to talk to. I also got a shackle off of one of the zombies, so that's cool I guess. The traveling merchant came by and sold a lifeform analyzer, a stopwatch, and a paint sprayer. I need 3 of each of those, either for the PDA or the Hand of Creation. I only bought 3 of the analyzers and stopwatches because the paint sprayer is 10 gold and I don't have that money yet. And of course I killed him for his hat. Then I did something I think is really cool. I have 500 mud blocks, so I ran like 200 blocks from my other town across the oasis. This is going to end up being my glowing mushroom biome, and my plan is that this is close enough to the oasis so I can fish here for angler quests, but not close enough to my other town. You'll see how that goes later, but now I'm back at the man-eater I died to and picked up my 9 gold from 3 hours ago. I'm really over here to continue building up towns for pylons. This is right next to the main jungle cave, and this hole will be nice for a pond later. I went past the jungle to explore more of the world, and while searching for a pyramid, I swapped my recording to a small dancing pirate for like 5 seconds and didn't find a pyramid here. I eventually found the ocean and set up some houses, but that's not the only reason I'm over here, but I'll get to that later. I found my first ever sea snail here and woke up the angler too. I finished the houses, then got on to my actual plan, which is finding shimmer. Because I have a compass, I can use a wacky formula to find out where the shimmer pool is based on the name of the first guide. I dug straight down into a spider cave where I just randomly found the Silas. A bit lower I found the shimmer pool and set up some houses down here. I've never thought to do that before, but it's really convenient to have a pylon down here because I can basically teleport to shimmer whenever I need it. I usually don't upgrade my pickaxe until I really need to, but I saw a bone pick in the shimmer, so I might as well grab it. I stayed down here until the demolitionist and nerd slime moved in so I could insta-buy the pylon so I don't have to dig down again. When I teleported home, there was a goblin army waiting for me, so I had to deal with that. It was kind of weird because my base was only platform, so I couldn't hide anywhere, and I ended up building a thing on top of my arena to deal with that. By the time I beat it, it was night, so I spent some time trying to change up my chest situation. I also cleaned up my accessory chest, and here's the current progress. I started moving left and found a step stool. Something I should mention is that it's been 4.5 hours, and I still haven't found a pair of Hermes boots, so I'm moving kind of slow. I found the snow biome and a half-decent cave, so I built a few houses up here too. I ran past the rest of the snow and found a living tree with a gnome inside, so you know I had to get my hands on that guy. I also got another aglet and a pair of climbing claws. I also need 3 of those for Master Ninja gear and the stuff below it, but I'm not that worried about it because the skeleton merchant sometimes sells them. After more running, I found a dungeon, which was buried for some reason, and then a living tree that had another aglet. There was another gnome, but since gnomes don't change at night, I weighted the whole thing in a box above it. The bottom of all the trees this way gave me 3 sets of wands, which are completely useless for me because I already have a finch staff. The bottom of the ocean didn't have anything useful, so I teleported home, then to Shimmer to change my living wood wand so I can sell them for more money. I grappled back up the tunnel to Shimmer to get back to my ocean town to get a pylon there. I stopped by the jungle to set up a pylon there and to start looking underground. I also found the goblin down here, so that's cool I guess. I'm looking for a boomstick down here because it's such a pre-hard mode beast. I was running from some hornets and saw a chest, so I went for it and blew up. I should mention that even though I have 1,200 hours in this game, I still have not improved at all. While running back, I was hitting trees for fruit and I, once again, got the eucalyptus sap really early in the game, and right after found a slime that was bugged into the ground. Instead of going back to the jungle, I just went to the desert to get a pylon and some more bullets. I made some potions to prepare for the Eye of Cthulhu fight and also made a bed to skip to it. I also put a couple more accessories into the chests. As soon as night fell, I summoned it in. For the first part, I used the musket mostly because it does a half-decent amount of damage. The second phase was a little bit harder because I still don't have Hermes boots, but it wasn't that bad. Now I have the shield Shield of Cthulhu, which is really good because my movement options were really limited. I fought it again because why not? The fight was basically the same, and I got the trophy this time and also put the extra shield into the chest. And that's when I decided to go to bed on day 1. The progress at the beginning of day 2 was looking pretty small because I've only gotten 14 accessories, so I have some work to do. I decided to search the underground snow for a little bit because Hermes boots have been a struggle to find. After the first chest, I found flurry boots, which was nice and also topped off my health. I did keep grabbing life crystals because heart lanterns are always useful. Eventually my Splunker potion ran out, so I went back home and saw that there was a traveling merchant there. I bought a DPS meter from him and also a bunch of planter boxes from the Dryad. Then I realized I didn't have a Tinkerer's workshop, so I had to go find the goblin in a random spot on the surface and buy it from him, along with some rocket boots. I made a goblin tech but didn't make specter boots because I wanted to save the flurries, but I did start an herb farm. Then I went back to the underground jungle. I'm still looking for a boomstick because it's just so good. The first chest I found of course had Hermes boots right after I had flurry boots. But that's fine because I will need a lot of these boots. I also took an angel statue from this chest because I need to get the Aether monolith. You can actually equip monoliths and the effect will only be for you, so I need to get all 6 of them. I'm also looking for a staff of regrowth, which I get out of this chest here. The spiked jungle slimes are tanks that I can't get close to, so my strat is to just stand on top of a ledge with the enchanted sword and kill them from a distance. When I get low from other things, I just place a campfire and wait because it cancels out like half the poison damage. I still do the usual sport and stingers for a blade of grass and a void bag later, but I'm focusing on those after chests. I'm also on the lookout for those little blue flowers that drop nature's gifts. I need like 4 of them, but they're not that rare, so it shouldn't be that hard to find them. The hard part is finding their brown counterpart, the jungle rose. From my experience, they're much rarer than the blue flowers, and the actual jungle rose item only drops 5% of the time, but that's something that I can worry about later. Right now, I found another chest that had another staff of regrowth. I keep finding gold chests with nothing useful in them, but I still grab the loot because I know I'm gonna need money for a lot of stuff later. I ended up dying to a dart trap and dropped 10 gold, but I can get it back later. Right now I'm back at the shimmer pool to make my Aether monolith. Then I made an axe of regrowth because it's the best axe in the entire game and sold the extra stuff I didn't need. Then I put my extra accessories in the chest and this is what our current progress is looking like. Then I went to do something different, making an Eater of Worlds arena. I usually cut out a half decent chunk of the underground because it throws less spit down here than it does on the surface. I'm not fighting it just yet because I need to make potions, but after that it's time. I'm using a demon bow and jester's arrows for piercing. I get pretty low during the fight, but I'm only shooting straight down from the head to create as little extra worms as possible. From there it goes pretty smoothly and I get a worm scarf out of it and also a new pet. After some housekeeping, I ran into the traveling merchant in the snow. He had both a red cape and a black counterweight, so I bought both. Then it was back to the jungle to keep looking for my boomstick. I got like halfway to where I died earlier till I fell into a hole with 3 hornets and you can guess how that went. On my way back I found another chest with a 3rd staff of regrowth and also found out where the meteorite fell. I got all my money back and found a minecart track out of the jungle. There was a nymph here, so that was 2 of the 3 metal detectors down. The track led into the underground desert and also had a chest that had a thunder zapper, but more importantly an encumbering stone. I don't think it leaves my inventory through the whole rest of the playthrough because it's really useful not to pick up random junk all the time. I turned around to go back to the jungle and there was another nymph, so that's all 3 metal detectors taken care of. I popped a Splunker and found another chest that gave a 4th staff of regrowth and also saw the traveling merchant spawn. Something that keeps happening is random nature's gifts coming to my inventory, but that's more of a good thing than a problem. Another chest gave me shoe spikes, which was annoying because I expect ivy chest loot to come from ivy chest and not normal gold chest loot. Shoe spikes are kinda useful though, but not really in the long run. I saw another chest though, and after digging to it there was feral claws, which are nice but not a boomstick. I also found Billy Marrows down here. Funny that we share a name. Anyways, he had a purple counterweight, which was kinda nice, plus I could sell a bunch of garbage to him. By this point my Splunker ran out, but I kept looking. I found another cloud in a bottle, which is really nice for later, plus a pair of Hermes boots. Then an anklet of the wind, which is really nice for right now. I was digging to one of these random structures with a bunch of coins and an unlit campfire, and then Tim spawned. There's nothing incredible that I can get from him, but it's cool I guess. After more digging I found another anklet, which is really nice for later, then found another chest with the 2% seaweed turtle pet thing. I searched for that for like an hour on the old pets video and I still don't have a boomstick. I got another magic mirror from a gold chest and a few life crystals that were all right next to each other. I also found a minecart track and got my 50th hornet kill. Something that I like to do is place the banner near where I'm currently am rather than at my base because the buff is probably more useful in the biome that the enemy spawns in. Anyways, I got another staff of regrowth, an inner tube, and another band of regen. I dug out of this granite cave and found another track and Dr. Bones was on it too. I found another chest with feral claws and a mace, and I'm really starting to get tired of having no boomstick. I bought 1,000 bullets when I jumped in the cave and now I'm only down to 250. I found another anklet of the wind and a dead man's chest. I don't usually bother with checking for explosives I can't see, and I got really lucky here because I missed one and it was just out of range enough that it broke the wall that was blocking me in and made the dart trap hit me. All that for a cloud in a bottle. Suddenly I'm in a stalemate with a man-eater for this chest, and of course the one that would have the boomstick is the one I can't loot immediately. I eventually kill the dude and get the best weapon in pre-hard mode, then finally go back home. I sold everything and had enough obsidian to finish my vanity set too. After that whole trip, I'm sitting at 25 accessories, and this is the current progress. I got a bunch of silt in the caves to get another accessory, but it takes 5 topaz and I only have 2, so I made a Splunker potion and found a bunch pretty quick. Then with a few demonite bars, I made a magiluminescence, which I think is a pretty overlooked accessory. It gives some speed boost, and since I made lightning boots earlier, I don't really need the magic carpet anymore. Then I took some time to make some other craftable accessories, mainly watches. Watches below gold and platinum are pretty trash because they don't show the actual time, but I still need them. I had resources for platinum and tungsten, which leaves gold, silver, copper, and tin. Silver was pretty easy because I just shimmered some tungsten to make it. Tin's a little bit harder because I only have copper in my world, and copper only shimmers in the stone, so I have to think. I could just shimmer some iron ore, but I have another way. I grabbed a chandelier from an underground house and shimmered it for 4 silver bars, which I took down to tin. Then I realized that's pretty stupid, so I just shimmered the iron down for both copper and the rest of tin. Now all that's left is gold, so I teleported the shimmer pool to find some untouched caves. I'm only looking for platinum to shimmer, and I also find some chests with some garbage on the way. One of those chests just had platinum bars in it, so after shimmering 2 chandeliers and 2 of those, I made the watch. Then I went back to the corruption. I still need bands of star power, so I started crushing orbs. After 2 that gave me garbage, I made a tunnel back to my arena so I can fight the boss. After a long time to set up my route, I spawned it in. I ran out of Jester's arrows halfway through, so I swapped to the boomstick and it worked in a pinch. After a pit stop at home, I went to the left and found a meteorite, so I spent the next 15 minutes mining the whole thing. Then I ran to the dungeon. My next goal is to fight Skeletron because the dungeon unlocks some really good stuff for me. First I have to dig myself out though because it's still buried. I set up a quick arena, then went home to make some meteor shots for the fight. I grabbed some potions, then proceeded to stand here for like 7 minutes to wait for night. I was just about to curse him, then a blood moon decided to spawn in, so instead I'm dealing with that. I'm looking for a shark tooth necklace because I need 2 of them, and getting 1 without a farm would be kind of nice. By the end of it, I didn't get one, but I did get a bloody tear, so I can spawn one in whenever I need to. Right after, a party happened, so I got a free slice of cake from the party girl, plus some balloon box for the bottom of the elevator. Then I slept tonight again so I can actually fight Skeletron, and after I spawned him in, I instantly took 100 damage because I'm stupid. The meteor shots from the boomstick are nice because they pierce the head when he's spinning so I can hit the hands. By the time both hands are dead, I'm at half health, which is great. The main problem I'm having is that the arena isn't big enough, so I get cornered really easily. I took a hit from a skull right before he started spinning, and of course got knocked into him and took another 100 damage because of knockback being dumb. I died pretty soon after that. I remade my potions and ran back to expand the arena. Then the traveling merchant showed up and sold me a pressurator, and now we're chilling with this. Then I went all the way back to the dungeon and brought a bed with me this time so we don't have to stand and do nothing till night falls. I spawned it in again and didn't immediately take 100 damage, which is already an improvement. I ran out of meteor shots, but I still made it work and took out both hands right next to each other. The extra layers make it very easy to dodge when he's charging, and I take it out pretty easily and get the bone glove plus Chippy's couch. Then I did what any normal person would do and ran straight into the dungeon. I really want a cobalt shield because not taking knockback is incredibly important. I also need a bunch of stuff from the dungeon, like a tally counter, a clother voodoo doll, a Nazar, plus the mechanic for the mechanical lens and ruler. I'm using the dungeon chest order thing to figure out where the shield is, and I know by ignoring the first chest I see it'll be in the next one. I found the chest it would be in, but I needed a key, but I conveniently got a dungeon slime to spawn right next to me, and now I have the shield. I'm also grabbing all the water candles because they're incredibly useful when I'm farming things. I'm marking both the biome chest and the extra golden chest so I don't accidentally open them when I'm looking for other things. I grabbed a Valor because it's an upgrade to the rally I have right now, and even if I don't use it much, it's still okay. I'm really looking for a handgun to make a Phoenix Blaster because it's a half decent weapon for the Wall of Flesh, but spoiler alert, the dungeon generated that chest in a place that was so far out of order I never bothered to open it because I thought it would have some useless magic weapon in it. I opened the chest I thought would have it and got a Muramasa instead, so I guess I can make the Knight's Edge now. I found the mechanic and bought both accessories in case she died so I wouldn't have to wait later. I also made sure to mark the jungle chest because I think the Piranha Gun is one of the best weapons in the game. Eventually I left the dungeon without a handgun just to come back to a goblin army. After that was taken care of, I started some housekeeping, like finishing off my crafting area. It's really nice to have both water and an alchemy station right next to each other, and the only other thing I plan on doing with this setup is to swap out the dirt blocks with the bubbles at the start of hard mode. Then I made an obsidian shield, threw a couple accessories in the chest, and realized I somehow got a clother voodoo doll, so that's cool I guess. Then I ran to the corruption to make my void bag. Usually I just carry a piggy bank or get Chester with me on one of my playthroughs, so this is the first time with just the bag. Now that I have a Muramasa, I can pretty easily make a Knight's Edge. I'll need it for the zenith later anyways, but having it in pre-hard mode is cool too. First I made a light span, where I realized that because I never used this sword, it got an update at some point to make these barrier things. All my NPCs were in a hole for some reason, so I took the opportunity to continue on the elevator. It's about time I get hellstone, and there's a bunch of accessories I need down there, like 2 treasure magnets, obsidian roses, magma stones, and lava charms. Quick tip when digging a elevator. Take sand silt with, because blocks can't be placed in lava to block it off like water, but these blocks can fall into lava, which has the same effect. Eventually I made it down and got a shadow chest with a dark lance, plus grabbing a hell forge. I'm smashing pots to try to get an obsidian skin potion to mine eventually, but until then I'm gonna look for chests. I got one after like 2 minutes and then went to mine hellstone. When the potion ran out, I had like 260, so now I just want to loot some more chests. The second and third gave flowers of fire, the fourth a sun fury and a treasure magnet, the fifth another sun fury and a demonic hellcart, the sixth a flame lash, the seventh a flame lash and another treasure magnet, and the rest don't matter because I only wanted 2 treasure magnets. I did get a fire imp that dropped both a cascade and an obsidian rose, which has a 1 in 8,000 chance to happen. I ended up falling in lava and teleporting home and barely living on 18 health. Then I spent a while organizing all the stuff I got down there, and here's the chest. I made like 4,700 tungsten bullets and then realized I needed more obsidian, so I jumped back down to get some stuff and placed the balloons at the bottom of the elevator. I placed the balloons and found a pretty good spot to get some obsidian, so after mining all of it, I made 85 hellstone bars. I made a full armor set, and watch closely. I am making a volcano, and it only takes 20 bars. When I click to craft it, I somehow get a stack of 2 of them. It still functions as both a sword and a stacked item, so I just got 2 swords for the price of 1. I made a molten pick and a lava-proof bug net, then I went and staked the swords over to craft the knight's edge, and when I did, I only used 1 sword, so now I have an extra volcano. I just shimmered it to get 20 more bars for free, which I used to make a molten fury. Then I went back to trying to get a band of star power. I got 2 Bolo Hurts and a Vile Thorn, fought the boss, and got 1 on the 4th orb. I do need some more, so I kept smashing and got a Vile Thorn, then ran out of orbs, so I went to the snow and finally got a pylon there. There's another corruption over here, but I couldn't find an underground cave, so I just went home and tended to my herbs. Then I went back to hell to try to find shadow chests on the other side of the world. I should mention I'm getting guide voodoo dolls down here too, and those are also an accessory. When I came home, I had a lot of junk to sell, plus the traveling merchant was here. I bought a crimson cloak, an extendo grip, and a yellow counterweight from him, which started off the second chest. I also teleported to the snow real quick to buy a tool belt from the goblin. Then I dug out a fishing pond. I need to do a lot of angler quests. Many more than in a normal playthrough. Let me explain what I mean by that. There's 3 informational accessories from the angler. I need to get each one 3 times for the PDA, the fish finder, and each of them separately. Then I need 3 of each of the fishing accessories from him. All 3 by themselves, 3 for the angler tackle bag, and 3 for the lava-proof tackle bag. Then I need 2 fishing bobbers, 1 to make glowing, and icing on the cake, fin wings. At the bare minimum, that's 24 quests, but we all know that number is gonna get a lot higher. After the pond was done, I finally got to placing the mushroom seeds in the mud block thing I built in the desert. Basically, I'm trying to do a bunch of mundane things in pre-hard mode before it gets harder in hard mode, starting with the fishing ponds. I made one in the snow before having to deal with another goblin army. Then I made a Fisher of Souls to get some quests done. I got the first quest, and now I'm doing one of the strategies that saves so much time with fishing. I caught 2 clownfish. I turned in 1 and put a chest over here with the second one inside, so if he ever wants to clownfish again, I don't have to fish for it. Very smart. I know. I also got sailfish boots and a tsunami in a bottle to put in the chest, and then went to the jungle to get a pond there. I did the same at the shrimp pool and got the amber trees. Amber is very important, but I'll explain that later. While filling the pool, I found the skeleton merchant and bought some climbing claws plus an artisan loaf. I was playing around with shimmer when I threw in a water walking potion and only got a water bottle back. So I looked up what was going on and realized that potions only decraft into 1 ingredient, which is odd, but weirdly also balanced. I also grabbed a shark statue down here, which is also important later. I did a fishing quest and then some lava fishing. I'd like to get a lava-proof fishing hook or another accessory, and I got flame waker boots, which I put in the chest, plus buying some rocket boots to put those and spectre boots in too. Now I'm in the underground desert looking for ancient chisels, dune rider boots, amber, and maybe some more bass statues. I got dune riders pretty quick, and amber is chilling everywhere, and eventually found a bass statue in a house that also had a magic conch. Not what I was looking for, but I'll take it. Right after I found a chisel, but I need another one for the hand of creation later. There was a chest with just a bass statue, one with a storm spear, one with a thunder zapper, one with another thunder zapper, and then I died because I forgot rolling cactuses exist somehow. I was fishing for armored cavefish when a blood moon came, and I finally got an upgrade to my finch staff, a vampire frog staff. I died to a wandering eye fish and stayed at home to farm for another shark tooth necklace. I also got Joja Cola while fishing, so I turned that in for a Junimo pet, which replaced my turtle. I didn't get a necklace, but the next day was a party, so I bought a bunch of balloons from the clother and did a fishing quest. I didn't mention it, but I got the Fishron's pocket guide a while ago, so I'm gonna save that for the cell phone. The plan is to go all the way and make the shell phone, and then shimmer it later to get the PDA back. I got a few radars from some crates, which is nice because now I can make a Rec 3000. I also made another set of lightning boots, and here's how the chest is looking. I was going to do another quest, and then I realized one of the best features in this game. By clicking on the fish in the angler's message, it puts it in a chat message, meaning you can type a fish in the chat box. This is reason 104,000 why Terraria should be the game of the year every year. While fishing for it, I got an iron crate that gave me a ginger beard, and the quest gave me the fish hook, which is longer than the slime hook, so I guess I'll use this. Then I went to look for some floating islands. The first one gave me a celestial magnet, which I'll need a few of, and I'll explain what else I need while I'm flying. I need 4 of those celestial magnets, 9 lucky horseshoes, 17 shiny red balloons, and a 1 in 40 pair of fledgling wings. I knew that sky chests were going to be some of the worst of the accessories to get, but here I am, still doing this challenge. Anyways, I found a Star Fury and a balloon. Both are good, but I don't want to get another Star Fury because I only need 1 to make the Zenith. Then I went the other way and got a horseshoe, another horseshoe, and of course another Star Fury. After some organizing, I bought the mechanics route and checked on the mushroom biome. It worked exactly as I planned, with half the oasis now being mushroomed. I also built another few houses here because town slimes are starting to get annoying and I don't care if they live with the truffle. I did another quest, got the bunny mount, then built a pond in the corruption. I need Ebon Koi for wrath potions and I'll probably need to fish for more bands of star power, plus random fishing quests. After I had enough stuff to make another Rec 3000, so I made it. Then I grabbed a bunch of potions. There are only 2 bosses I have yet to fight in pre-hard mode, Queen Bee and Deerclops. So I'm gonna fight Queen Bee now for the hive pack and a few honeycombs. I built a couple platforms and spawned it in. It was really easy because I'm fighting it a few bosses out of order and I got the pet first try, so I'm rocking with that now. I got the hive pack but no honeycomb, so I'll have to go again. I need like 5 total, so I'll have to grind a lot. I waited to fight it again and instead made a honey pool. This was supposed to be for fishing for a bumblebee tuna whenever that quest came in, but in the 100 plus hours of this playthrough, I don't get it once, which if we consider my last playthrough being 126 hours, that's like 230 hours without a single bumblebee tuna quest, which is absolutely insane. Then it was right back to Queen Bee. Second one did drop a honeycomb and I did get another spawn, but after that one I got nothing good except for the trophy. I turned that honeycomb into a honey balloon and then an amber horseshoe balloon. I kept placing honey and then to end out the day I made a pond in the underground snow for a quest that gave me nothing. Day 3 started with me screwing up the audio for the first hour, so till I figure that out, the game's gonna be muted. I actually started by making a mana flower and also got a magnet flower, and every time I see this item, I think that it looks like the magnet shroom or gold magnet shroom from Plants vs Zombies, but maybe that's just me. I also made magic cuffs and a fart in a jar. I didn't know this before making it, but the fart in a jar is actually better than the cloud and not just a cosmetic effect. It boosts you further if you hold jump, which is kind of cool. Then I still wanted more bands of star power, so I went to the 3rd and final corruption biome. I forgot I already had 2 orb smash, so when I immediately popped 2 in a row, I had the worm coming for me. It wasn't really that hard because the Night's Edge has a huge attack radius and piercing, so after it was dead, I went to pick up the stuff from the orbs and one did drop a band. The next orb dropped the Ballo herd, then I'm gonna try an idea that I had. If I spawn in the boss, then break a bunch of orbs while it's spawned in, I don't think you'll get a second worm, meaning I can just keep breaking orbs with 0 consequences. It takes a bit of setup so I can do it and not die, but after it's all set up, I popped one and threw the first bomb. Right after throwing it, it was a mad dash to get to the other 4 orbs. After the first one popped, the boss was in, but the second and third orbs still had 2 messages in chat. But when the 4th one opened, there wasn't another boss, so I guess this kinda works. I mean, yes, you'll be on 2 orb smash, but it's nice to not be constantly fighting this thing. After the fight was over, I got 1 band from 5 orbs, which is about average. Then it was time for some housekeeping. I wanted to move some NPCs around to make room for others in hard mode, so I put a house down by the shimmer for the clothing. Then I made another pair of magic cuffs for the eventual celestial cuffs, and here's the second chest so far. I did another fishing quest and got nothing good, then put the life preserver he gave me at the bottom of the pond. This is something that I keep doing throughout the entire challenge, so if you want to see progress, look really closely under the water. Then it's back to the second corruption because I missed the chasm earlier, and of course this one led to an orb. And so I fight the Eater of Worlds once again. From the orbs I got 3 vial orbs, then I had to spawn it in again for the last orb to give me another band. That's every orb in the world broken, so if I need more bands, I need to go fishing. I made a mana regeneration band because I didn't earlier, then I'm back to the underground desert looking for an ancient chisel and find it in the first chest. I head back home, put it in the chest, then I'm back in the underworld. I'd really like to get a lava charm so I can eventually make Terra Spark boots, so I'm gonna farm hellbats, get a magma stone, then shimmer that magma stone to get a lava charm. But to farm hellbats, I need a farm, so that's what I'm building. It's basically a long platform with holes in it so the lava from lava slimes can just flow out of it, plus a water candle and a campfire. This also has the added benefit of giving me both obsidian roses and guide voodoo dolls if I get lucky. By the time I came back up, I had 1 rose and 1 voodoo doll and no magma stones, but the traveling merchant is here. He was selling diamond rings and the angel halo, both of which are really expensive, but I have like 6 platinum already. I was also really worried about not getting the angel halo because it's the rarest item from the traveling merchant at around a 1 in 400 chance. Then it was back to the hell platform. I really want this lava charm, so I'm gonna stay down here till I get it. While I was down here, I realized that the audio was screwed up, so now everything should be good. When I left the next time, I had another rose and 8 dolls, but still no stone. I realized there's a bunch of things I have to buy from the zoologist depending on the moon phase, so I might as well start that now with the bunny tail, plus I also got the critter shampoo. Then I did another quest and got the angler hat. The whole angler set is really useful in this challenge because fishing is going to be a long part of this, and any extra fishing power is going to be really nice. Then it's right back to the hell platform. The instant I went back down, the traveling merchant came again, so I bought a winter cape and 2 portable cement mixers before going right back down there. After I killed the voodoo demon, I didn't pick up the doll as it was falling, which is fine because the only holes in this platform are only 1 block wide, so it'd have to fall pixel perfect to get in the lava, which is exactly what it did. So I just teleported home and died because I didn't want to lose my coins, plus I kinda don't want to go into hard mode yet. I got a magma stone eventually and I don't really know what else to do, so I just stayed down here for another. By the time I left, I had 2 more roses and another doll, but only 1 stone, which I'll turn into a lava charm eventually. Then I made 2 obsidian skulls, 1 to put in the chest and 1 for the eventual obsidian water walking boots. Rather than putting that first skull in the chest though, I made an obsidian skull rose and put that in instead. I then immediately went back on that and decided it would be a better move just to put the other one in now since Terra Sparks are a while away. Then I shimmered my stone and put it in my vanity slot for right now because if I somehow get in lava, I can just equip it for some immunity. Another angler quest gave me nothing again, then I started fishing for ocean crates to get water walking boots. In a whole 8 minutes of fishing, I got exactly 1 ocean crate, which gave me a trident. The other crates gave sailfish boots and a tsunami in a bottle, so I can at least use those later. I also kept the mana potions because the mana flower is a recipe I have to make a surprising amount of times in this playthrough. Then I spent a bunch of time mining more obsidian for all of the skulls I'll need. After mining 150 of it, I decided that's probably enough. Then I had to pause to eat lunch or something and there was a falling star on the screen and I honestly think it's just cool to look at. After I came back, I did another fishing quest that gave me nothing, then bought another tail from the zoologist. Then it was to the underground snow. I need ice skates for Terra Spark boots, so I might as well get them now and maybe find some water chests with water walking boots. The first chest was an ice boomerang and an ice mirror. I usually just swap out my magic mirror for an ice mirror because even though they do the exact same thing, I think it's just neat to have the rarer one. The next chest had another boomerang which was just great, and so did the third chest. Then at the bottom of the snow there was a mushroom biome that had a water chest in it. It had flippers, which isn't water walking boots, but I do need some flippers later. Back in the snow I found a 4th chest which had the useless snowball launcher. I found another water chest under the dungeon and it actually had water walking boots, so all I'm missing for Terra Sparks is ice skates. Another ice chest gave the ice blade, and then the next finally gave me my ice skates. Before leaving though, I at least wanted to check out this cave and found a water chest with another inner tube. Inner tubes can't be combined with anything, so this is pretty much useless. I also found 2 more chests next to each other and got a blizzard in a bottle and a breathing reed. After selling all the junk, I placed down 2 more shark statues to go with the other 2. I also got both a depth meter and a compass while down there, so I was able to make a GPS. Now I just need the other 2 things from the angler for the cell phone, then a demon conch for the shell phone if I even want that. Then I did one of the harder things in this challenge. Finally made Terra Spark boots. This is the first of the few things that won't go into chests till the very end of the challenge because it's a very good accessory. Another angler quest gave me nothing yet again, but doing quests increases the chance to get actual useful things, so it's not a complete loss. Then it was time for the next thing. Deerclops. I shimmered a bunch of suspicious eyes to get lenses, and I have a bunch of flinks fur from my time in the snow, so I was able to make 4 spawners. I only need 2 things from him, the bone helm, which is guaranteed, and the radio thing, which is a 1 in 3 chance. I realized it was raining, so if I made the right setup, I could just have Deerclops spawn naturally, but I forgot about how a town can't be nearby, so that didn't work. I just spawned it in afterwards and realized I did not prepare enough. I was confused about how to dodge the attack where he shoots up ice from both sides. I knew I could just stand under him for the first 2, but I always took a hit on the 3rd one and I actually die to him. The good thing is he doesn't despawn when you die, although it is annoying to get back because I can't use pylons until he's dead. This cycle continues for about 3 more deaths, but he dies, and when I open the treasure bag, I'm met with the greatest thing I could ever see. Both accessories from the first bag. I also got the trophy, so of course it's going up on the dirt wall next to the rest. I was finally able to use the mushroom oasis pond for an angler quest, and when I turned it in, I got the minecarp and one of the best wall decorations in the game. I put it next to the gnome. Then I bought a wrench, a timer, and some wire. This is what all the shark statues were for. So sharks spawn pretty rarely in the ocean, but they can drop certain items when they're spawned with a statue. The item I'm looking for is the diving helmet, which is usually a 1 in 20 chance, but with statues it's now a 1 in 100, which really isn't that bad. I'm just not allowed to use traps, so I'm gonna stand up here and swing my sword with something on my left mouse button until I get all 3 that I need. The diving helmet is actually a helmet, not an accessory, but it's used to make diving gear, which is used in 2 other upgrades, so I need 3 total. I got 4 because I was away for a bit, but that's cool I guess. I was immediately able to make regular diving gear, but I'll need more flippers and some jellyfish necklaces plus ice skates for the others. Another angler quest gave me the angler vest, which is nice. The traveling merchant came around again and I was able to buy the fake unicorn horn from him. Then it was on to a bigger project. I placed a bunch of mud blocks above the jungle town, then planted jungle seeds. I said earlier about the jungle rose, and this is my plan to get it. While I was gathering seeds, I also grabbed a jellyfish statue for later. Then there was one more thing I had to do before I was done with this farm. So there's some plants in the jungle that are 3 blocks wide, which is bad because that's taking up spawning space for the rose. But I can do something to prevent these. Since the 3 wide plants are also 2 blocks tall, I can place a block to prevent them from spawning while letting the 1 by 1 roses grow. I used torches for this because I had a bunch lying around, plus I can walk through them, which makes harvesting so much easier. The traveling merchant came by again but didn't have anything useful, so I tried to kill him. I read on the wiki that if there's no traveling merchant in the world before noon, another one does have the chance to spawn. It was only 10:45, so I tried, but when drowning him, he decided to face to the floor. Anyways, I finished placing torches and then went to get more seeds because the grass wasn't growing fast enough. I ended up finding a few chests, one with Hermes boots, one with a flipper, an extractor that I didn't take, and a breathing reed that I also didn't take. I went home with 4 more seeds and made another diving gear, but I'm still missing a jellyfish necklace. I'll get one by statue farming eventually, but now I'm doing an angler quest where I just get garbage again. And by getting that necklace eventually, I mean right now. It's pretty much the same setup as the sharks, just with 1 statue instead of 4. I got one and immediately made a jellyfish diving gear, then went right back to it. The next one went straight into the chest, and after over 1,000 jellyfish, I got the 3rd one, which I eventually need for Arctic diving gear. Then it's back to farming the underworld. I still need magma stones for both themselves and to shimmer into lava charms, so that's what I'm focusing on now. By the time I left 40 minutes later, I had 2 magma stones, a rose, and 9 voodoo dolls, along with a bunch of lava bugs for fishing later. It was also a blood moon and I'm still looking for my shark tooth necklace, and I actually got one. Then I shimmered a magma stone to get a lava charm and put that and another magma stone right into the chest. Then I did another angler quest and got the first useful item in a while, the angler earring. I took that to the corruption to catch some eben koi to make some wrath potions. I'm gearing up to fight the wall of flesh soon, but before anything else I'd like to have my potions ready. Then I got to the underworld. I used the strat of just running on lava with the terrace road boots and cutting open some houses to make a half decent path. I may have lied earlier when I said I'll fight the wall of flesh soon, because I'm fighting it now. My plan is to basically tank everything and stay close with the Knight's Edge. It works pretty well because the Knight's Edge basically insta-kills the hungry and sometimes hits an eye in the mouth at the same time, dealing almost double damage. It went down really easily and I had another accessory slot, plus the breaker blade and an emblem. The emblem was instantly shimmered to range because it's what I plan on doing for this playthrough. I also bought the shotgun for a weapon now and maybe to make an onyx blaster later. I also went to buy some bubbles for the base and found out that the snow town was now corrupted, so I gotta move that at some point. And by some point I mean right now. After making the exact same houses for the exact same NPCs, I ran to try to break some altars but died on my way to the chasm. Then I checked in on my jungle rose farm and got it on my first harvest, meaning I'm just gonna have to have this giant floating structure above the jungle till the end of the playthrough. Another angler quest gave trash and another painting I put above the fish. Then I did something I did in my last all pets video. I knew that the desert was already hallowed when I bought the shotgun, so I basically can put a pylon wherever I want because of the hallow pylon being available. I decided to buy some hallowed seeds from the dryad and put it on the other ocean for easy access to the dungeon. After the houses were built and the seeds were planted, I started to farm the underworld again to try and get the tax collector to live over there. After 3 deaths and eventually getting him, I tried to go back to breaking altars. I always try to leave the closest altar for crafting if I need it, and I got cobalt, orichalcum, and titanium. And with like 8 wraiths chasing me, of course I died. I also realized the corruption was spreading, so I stopped it with a single sunflower because apparently they can stop the evil from spreading. I was also trying to get dark shards for the onyx blaster, but I kept repeatedly dying, so I instead went to look for some ore near the shimmer pool. I got a cobalt pickaxe pretty easily, plus accidentally got enough to make a helmet too. It gives more defense than the molten helmet, so why not? While I was looking for orichalcum, I also found the wizard and had the rare thing where it was also a party, so I instantly swapped his hat the moment I saved him. I also bought the 1 music box I need because like I said, I'm only getting the default one. I came home and made an orichalcum anvil and pickaxe and then started mining titanium. The plan is to make frost armor because it has a good defense and decent buffs for rangers. I'm also grabbing crystal shards for potions and bullets later. I killed a mimic in a mushroom biome for a philosopher's stone, then immediately died and dropped 57 gold coins, which is just tragic. Instead of just putting the stone in the chest, I decided to make his Charm of Myths because I don't really need the Magiluminescence with Terra Spark boots. I made the titanium I had into a helmet and the chestplate, then tried again to get dark shards but died again. So I went back, got nothing, and teleported home to do another angler quest. It was a sandstorm, but I had to catch a fisher, so I figured out that if I fish in the mushroom side, I can still catch desert fish without the sandstorm enemies. And after all that prep, I was graciously rewarded with the angler pants, which is at least half decent, plus getting an enchanted sundial from the crates. I went looking for some more titanium and found a chest that just had a lava charm, which is cool I guess. And then 2 minutes later, I got the first of the 4 armor polishes I'll need. When my Splunker potion ran out, I remembered I had to put a tiger climbing gear in the chest, and then made a molten charm and put that in as well. I was like 3 ore off of making pants, but at first I did a quest and got a golden bug net. I found the last bit of titanium near the shimmer pool and kept mining for some other things later. I made my legs with 19 bars to spare just in case I needed them. And need them I did because I immediately put them into a titanium repeater. Then it was about time I got wings. The first wyvern jump scared me as I was building up, but I saw in the death message that the truffle moved in, which is nice I guess. Then I was up on the sky island I wanted to be on, so I flattened it out so it would be a half decent place to fight wyverns on. I tried placing walls to prevent enemy spawns, but that didn't work. Something I soon realized was that I was getting a lot of pixies spawning up here, so I just decided to grind for pixie wings rather now than later. Soon another wyvern spawned, and I used Jester's arrows in the repeater to kill it pretty easily. I realized I could kill pixies in this box by shooting harpies, giving me the titanium shards that kill the pixies through the blocks protecting me. And if a wyvern spawns, I fall down this rope shooting straight up, dealing a lot of damage. I killed another wyvern, so now I have enough souls but not enough pixie dust, so now I'm farming that. This has the added benefit of spawning unicorns for their horns and the chance of getting megaphones and fast clocks, both of which I need 4 of. So let me explain why I need 4 of these. So there's the Ankh shield, which is made of 12 different accessories. 2 of those are the obsidian skull and cobalt shield, which aren't very difficult to get, so I'm gonna skip over them. That leaves the other 10. Each of these are a 1% drop chance from a bunch of different enemies, and each of those are going to get combined with one of the others. And the 5 of those combine into the Ankh charm, which then combines into the shield, meaning I need each of the 1% drops 4 separate times. But that's mostly a battle for another time. Anyways, I got my 99 pixie dust, then made my wings to replace the fart in a jar. I did another fishing quest, and once again got nothing useful, so I decided to make an endless quiver to pass the time till the next quest. After that one I got treasure, then tried again with my better armor to get dark shards. This also lets me farm corruptors for vitamins and mummies and slimes for a blindfold, which is also nice. I died because I got cornered in a cave, but I got a blindfold. I put the fart in a jar in the wrong chest earlier, so now here's the progress on the 3rd chest. I went back and got a shard, so now I only need 1 more. I was farming until night, and of course it was a blood moon, and I got swarmed and died. Then it started raining, so I decided to take the time to try to farm some ice golems. I was chilling in my hole waiting for some to spawn when I killed a clown and I dropped a banana ring, which is crazy for one of my first clown kills. I've never used it before, but it feels like a weaker light disc, but it works for the time being. I moved my hole to get the blizzard effect off my screen and had a golem spawn, so now that's 1 of 3 cores. It also dropped an ice feather, which is really good for ice wings later. I also got another shark tooth necklace, so that's all of them out of the way. Then I spent some time at the corruption to get the other dark shard, but I got a dark mummy banner first somehow. It rained again after like 5 minutes, so I went back to the snow and died because I did some hidey hole renovations at the wrong time. I ran back and kept getting swarmed by werewolves, but it's chill because I need moon charms and bandages anyway. I moved because enemies were getting stuck in a hole, so I moved near that hole and had a golem spawn, which is now 2 of the 3 cores. Also somewhere I got both a charm and a bandage, so that's really nice. Almost immediately afterwards, another one spawned, so that's all 3 cores. I chilled in here for the rest of the rain cycle because I need more frost cores, because apparently you can craft blizzards in a bottle with them. After the rain stopped, I shimmered a bandage because I got 2 somehow, and now I can craft a medicated bandage. Combine that with the blindfold, Nazar, vitamins I got somewhere, armor polish, and megaphone, I'm only missing 3 parts of the Ankh shield, which is crazy for only being in hard mode for like 3 hours. Then I shimmered my titanium armor and made frost armor, which is cool. Get it? Cool? Because it's like frost armor? It's a pun? Get it? It's fun. Anyways, I really want my dark shard and I finally got it, so now I just need some souls for the Onyx Blaster. I got another thing of vitamins, a trifold map, and my souls, and finally made it. Because of the map, I'm down to just a fast clock and a pocket mirror, and I can farm both in the corruption. It was a blood moon the next night, so enemies were everywhere, which made farming chaotic but quick. I got 2 blindfolds, another vitamins, a mechanical worm, and a desert key, which is an insane amount of loot for one night. I shimmered 1 blindfold to make a pocket mirror to make shades, and then put the other blindfold in the chest. Then I went over to the Hallow to farm more pixies for a fast clock. I got another megaphone but no clock, which sucks, but I can still farm, it'll just be a little bit slower. I had to make something called a shadow candle because it gets rid of the effect that towns have on enemy spawning because my entire Hallow is in the desert town. Right after doing that, I got a clock in a grand total of 1 minute. It actually took me longer to figure out how to make the candle than it took to get the clock. Then to end off the day, I made my shield, reforged the menacing, reforged my Terra Spark boots to armored, and then went to bed. The next day started with me reforging my boots with shimmer because I forgot I can do that. After getting one of the good ones, I went over to the corruption and realized it was a sandstorm over here. I almost died, so I teleported home and finally made some better healing potions. I used most of my crystals, so I went to get some more, plus kind of farming souls and queen slime summons down here. I found another band of regen, a cloud in a bottle, and had a mimic drop a star cloak, which is something I'll need a lot of later. I also had a skeleton archer drop a marrow, which is pretty good for where I'm at right now. Also, one slight detail I left out. I somehow also got a Rod of Discord. Don't ask me how I got it so early because I don't know either. After going home, I decided to make an Old One's Army arena. I need 5 accessories from it: the Squire's shield, the Apprentice's scarf, the Monk's belt, the Huntress's buckler, and Betsy's wings. But instead of using it for the Old One's Army right now, I'm gonna use it to fight hallowed mimics for a Daedalus Stormbow. This first one dropped a crystal vial shard, so I gotta get more souls. On my way down, the skeleton merchant was here and he sold me the yo-yo glove, which I bought 2 of, along with 2 green counterweights. I was originally planning on building a farm down here, so I'm digging a bunch of passageways, which also has the added benefit of funneling enemies towards me. Then I found the skeleton merchant again and he was selling aglets, so I bought a ton because I don't know how many I actually need. I got my souls and headed home to make my yo-yo bag, and here's what the current chest looks like. The next hallowed mimic dropped an illuminate hook, which I might as well use, but still not a stormbow. I did an angler quest before going back down, and I got a bottomless water bucket, which could actually be useful. I died twice while farming, but I got both a hallowed key and a magic quiver. While running, I spotted a hallowed mimic in this water pool, so I regened my health to full, aggroed it, and got shot twice while fighting it and died. But now I'm back home, so I can make a GPS with a compass I got and put the magic quiver in the chest. Plus, I also managed to get enough souls to make another mimic. This one dropped a flying knife, which is not what I'm looking for, so time for more grinding. I killed another mimic down here, got another vial shard, then burned to death. I once again barely got my souls, and I also did a quest and got trash again, but the mimic dropped a stormbow. So the plan was to use the stormbow to fight the destroyer, but I wanted to try something else. I tried to do this weird strat with minecart track and dynamite and whatever, and it did not work at all, so now I actually have to fight the boss. Before that though, I'm doing another fishing quest that I actually can't do because the underground fishing pool got corrupted and I just can't catch the fish. Then I made a whole 1,000 holy arrows for the fight. Even though this strategy got nerfed when 1.4 came out, it still works pretty well. While waiting for night, I decided to do the Old One's Army. This was mostly a test to see if the platform was long enough before it got harder after a mech boss, and it wasn't, so I'll extend it later. By the end of it, I got both the Squire's shield and the Apprentice's scarf, which is really nice. Then I made a quick arena over the ocean, got some potions, and tried the destroyer again. I didn't go below half health for the entire fight, and now it's dead. But I have more than half the night left, so I grabbed a prime spawner and tried that too. I'm pretty much swapping between every weapon on my hotbar because I don't have time to think about it. Towards the end of the fight, I started just using the marrow because it did pretty good damage that I can focus all on the head. And with 30 seconds left of the night, it's dead. I swapped my pet to Little Prime and made full hallowed armor, plus did another angler quest and got nothing useful. Then the traveling merchant came by again and sold me 3 bricklayers. I realized I was able to make another counter curse mantra, so I put that in the chest too. Now I'm prepping for the twins, so I made my potions and bought enough musket balls for an endless musket pouch. I've had the stuff to make the mega shark in my inventory since I killed the destroyer, so I'm just waiting for any illegal gun parts to craft it. I slept till night to buy them, crafted it, and then reforged it to something half decent before spawning in the twins. I did have crystal bullets, which worked pretty well, and the spaz goes down first when I've only lost 1/3 of my health. The rat wasn't really that hard though, so that's all of the mechs down. I made a pickaxe axe because it's the better of the two, and then crafted a mechanical upgrade kit. Then I'm looking for chlorophyte and the plantera bolt. I found another mimic and got a titan glove, which is another thing I need a ton of. I did die and lose 55 gold, and now it's a solar eclipse. I did just skip it with the sundial, but I also died to it. Then I did an angler quest that I got nothing from before going back to mining in the jungle. I died in like half the time from the last one. I made some chlorophyte armor and a shot bow, then refought the wall of flesh for another emblem, but I'm stupid and somehow died to it. Then it's right back to the mines. Another mimic dropped a cross necklace, which is still useful, but I don't need as many of them compared to the star cloaks and titan gloves. I came home to a blood moon, which was almost over, and then immediately turned into a party. I did another quest and got the golden fishing rod, which is really nice for speeding up fishing. Then I finished my chlorophyte armor, shimmered my old stuff, and turned in the necklace. I was looking on the map for the bulb and found one, so I dug to it from the shimmer pool because it was faster. Then I hollowed out this granite cave to make an arena, but it's pretty small. Then I grabbed some potions and spawned in the bulb. I was getting completely swarmed by Plantera's thorn balls, and in such a small space, I died. Then I fought the wall again for that second emblem I failed to get earlier. I actually killed it this time and turned that emblem into a Avenger emblem that I kept shimmering for a good modifier, and then also replaced the Charm of Myths. Then it's back to actually build a Plantera arena. My usual method is putting honey on the bottom so the thorn balls get stuck in it and can't hit me, and then also making the thing a lot bigger. By the time the honey was flowing in, I had 3 Beazars, a Yellets, and a turtle shell. After mining the entire hive, I used the hive wand to place down more hive to get more honey until I thought it was good enough. I also had the resources to fight Queen Bee a couple times, and I did from a single platform. I went home for something and realized that the Hallow was getting really close to the base, so I bought a Clementinator to push it back to the desert. Then I did another fishing quest and got nothing yet again, and I had a bunch of accessories ready from the Queen Bee bags giving honeycomb, so now the chest looks like this. I made all my potions again and popped the second bulb. The shotbow and hellfire arrows did a good amount of damage, so I only had to focus on dodging. The honey bowl did a good job of keeping the thorns in check, but I wasn't doing great. I took a hit right at the end that left me on 6 health, but then the boss died. It could not have gotten any closer than that. Now I'm chilling with the Plantera pet and need to have a look in the dungeon. At some point I got a tattered bee wing, but I already upgraded to a jetpack when I bought the Clementinator. Also, the sports sack finished the next chest off, and here's what it looks like. Now I'm doing another fishing quest and I got the tackle box, which is really good. Then I grabbed my biome keys and jumped into the Post-plantera dungeon. I got the desert tiger staff, which is cool but not really useful, but at least it'll be better than the rainbow gun. I ended up dying to Bone Lee, but on my way back a paladin was right at the top and not throwing hammers at me, so it was pretty much a free kill that dropped 5 gold. I did get the Hallow chest this time around, plus an Inferno Fork, both of which are completely useless to me. Right after that I died to a Diabolist. I needed a way to farm these guys, and I built a dungeon farm in the old pets run, so I might as well do it again. While getting bricks, I got another Philosopher's Stone to start the next chest. Then it's digging time. I need a big area to build it in, so here we go. Eventually got tired of taking so much damage, so I bought an auto hammer and also FPV goggles from the cyborg. I shimmered my armor for chlorophyte just to remake it when I realized I didn't have enough mushrooms, so I got some more. I made the bow helmet for the shot bow, but I can just shimmer it whenever I want, so it's not that bad if I want to change it later. Then I made a pond in the sky for some reason. I didn't get any crates like I wanted to, but I did get a zombie arm, which I shimmered for another whoopee cushion and then a fart in a bottle. Then it was right back to digging out the dungeon. I also grabbed an ancient chisel to make this a little bit faster. I was mining for a while and then became the first person on the planet to ever die to a skeleton commando. The hole became a lot easier to dig after I was out of the dungeon, so progress is moving steadily, plus I got a black belt at some point. Eventually I finished digging out the hole, so I just need to build the farm part, but when I came back home there was the first pirate invasion. This is good because I need the 3 accessories, the lucky coin, the gold ring, and the discount card, plus the 2 combinations of the 3. I tried making some setup that makes farming the event really easy, but I couldn't get it to work and just died a lot. After I gave up, I ended up making a box next to the honey pool, which worked really well if I held 1 block with the mega shark. By the end of it, I got the gold ring, which is nice for the first try, but then it was back to building. I have to put a bunch of walls at the bottom of the hole so enemies don't spawn down here, but that goes pretty fast with the builder potion. Then I pretty much guessed where the center of the farm was and built across. Then I had to break some walls and place some more walls so I can get the right enemies spawning. I'm looking for snipers right now because a sniper rifle and rifle scope would be great right about now. When everything was done, I realized an issue. I don't have a sentry. Usually the way this farm works is I kill the enemies by having some sort of sentry do it, but I found a workaround. I added 2 holes to the bottom that I can shoot through and the tiger can see through, so it's at least kind of automatic. The one annoying thing is that the wizard guys can still shoot through and I can't really do anything about that, so I died and dropped 96 gold coins. Since I was back home, I decided to set up a teleporter from the surface to the farm. I made a grand design, bought the wire and teleporters, and set it up pretty easily. I also brought the Daedalus bow too because it could work for the casters and just help in general. I died a few times, but one time I got a bone feather, which is something I completely forgot I needed, but also really good. I also got a rifle scope, so now I just need the rifle itself. Something I keep getting is trifold maps, so I put one in the chest and shimmered 2 for fast clocks. One of them went straight into the chests, and the other one was used to turn into the plan, which I also put in the chests, and now here's what the 4th one looks like. Then, instead of going back to the dungeon, I went to farm wyverns. Bone wings are better than the jetpack, plus I'll need to get them anyways, so right now is a good time. 1 wyvern dropped enough souls, so now the jetpack's in the chest. Then I fought the wall of flesh again. I need a lot of emblems. The 4 class-specific ones, the Avenger emblem, the Destroyer emblem, plus all the things trapped from them all. Since fighting the wall depends on if the guide is alive or not, fighting it whenever possible is a good habit to have. I got a summoner emblem which I didn't have in the chest yet, so I just put it straight in. Then I did some general housekeeping. I built a house in the ocean for the pirate, clementated the Hallow away from my base, got confused as to why the Hallow was still here, dug down to try to find out where this is coming from, find nothing, and gave up. Then it's right back to the dungeon. I really want to get this sniper rifle because it can be really good against Golem if I set it up right. I got it after being in the farm for like 5 minutes, so now it's actually on to Golem. I started by shimmering my helmet back to the gun's helmet and then looking for life fruits. I also found the golfer right on the border of the desert, so that's one of the last NPCs I need. I'm also getting a lot of mimics, which is nice because I still need those star cloaks and titan gloves. Something else that's nice is I keep finding plantera bulbs, which will help me when I need to get a seedler for the zenith. I ended up dying down there, and when I came home it was an eclipse, so I skipped it because I really don't care about anything from it right now. Also, since I was fighting every queen bee I found down in the jungle, I got another honeycomb, so I can make anything with it when the time comes. Anyways, I had an extra life fruit which I turned into an Aegis fruit for extra defense. Then I slept till morning to do an angler quest which I got absolutely nothing good from again. Then I was back in the jungle looking for the temple. It really shouldn't have been this hard to find because it's a giant bright orange brick square. But no, I can't find it and I just died again. Back at home, I remembered that the bee cloak and star veil exist, so I made both of them, plus the stinger necklace, and put them all in the chest. I also had the stuff to make lightning boots, so I did, and I kept them in a chest for frost sparks later. On my way back down to the jungle, I found a chest that had an actual useful item: flower boots. I'll need to get a second pair later, but getting one without fishing at all is very nice. I went home for a second to build a house for the golfer, but then it's right back to searching. There's a big area near the bottom of the jungle that I haven't checked, so that's where I'm going next. Of course, it's in that one spot that I checked last, right at the bottom. I unlocked the door and started to take out the traps. The danger sense potion makes it really easy to see the pressure plates, plus I'm mining the spikes just in case. Eventually, I got to the altar room and made 2 layers out of platforms to be an arena. Then I used the potion of return so I can get back there whenever I need to set up a few things. I fought the wall of flesh again to get a warrior emblem which I put in the chest, got arena items like my bass statue from the Plantera arena, made potions, then summoned it in. My whole strategy is to line myself up so that I can hit at least 2 parts of the boss at the same time. I like to take out the fists because it can get hard after the head's dead and shooting lasers everywhere. After the head's dead, there's still a hand alive, but I can still pierce through the body. I kill the fist and like 10 seconds later the boss is dead. I got my first light pet since the shadow orb and the shiny stone, plus the possessed hatchet. Rather than fight it just once, I decided to go right at it again before my buffs ran out and I beat it again. That time I got a sunstone, which is nice because I'll need 3 total for all of its recipes. Then I have an actual goal: the Martian invasion. I started by building a room in this tree and then building a long bridge to spawn things in on. Then I fought Queen Slime to get a Hook of Dissonance. The reason this whole setup works is that I can use the hook to dodge the death ray while being in this box. I got it on my first try along with the volatile gelatin, so now I don't have to fight her ever again. Then I fought the wall of flesh again because why not, and put a sorcerer emblem in the chest. The guy moved in really fast after that, so I did it again and had all 4 basic emblems in the chest now. Also, at some point I shimmered a star cloak into a chromatic cloak. I also set up a platform above the old one's army spot so I can eventually fight the pumpkin and frost moons there. After sleeping until morning, I did an angler quest, but before I turned it in, the traveling merchant was here and sold me the paint sprayer that I passed up earlier because I'm rich now. Plus, he also sold me the mysterious cloak. The quest gave me nothing, but I was able to make both the architect gizmo pack and a hand of creation, which is 2 really hard ones off the list. I'm keeping the hand for right now because if I ever need to build something later, it could come in useful. Then I remembered that the princess existed since I got the golfer earlier, so I bought all of this stuff from her, which was so much money that I can't get back, but that's now the royal scepter, glass slipper, and prince cape done. I also realized I didn't have armor polish in the chest yet, so I shimmered some from vitamins to get it. Then I slept until night to summon in the pumpkin moon. This event is honestly not that bad with the sniper because the first few waves don't have any range attacks other than the morning wood. It got harder when pumpkin came out and I died on wave 12 at 2:15 in the morning, meaning I only had like 2 minutes to get any more progress done. By the end, I didn't make it to wave 15, but I did get a stake launcher, which is exactly what I wanted. I also got a necromantic scroll, which is really nice, but I'll need to get another one later for the papyrus scarab. I also got a spooky twig, so spooky wings are on the table at some point. And by some point, I mean right after I killed this wyvern. After putting them away, I was working on the Martian arena. After a bass statue and a heart lantern, I found a probe and summoned them in. I realized pretty quick that something was wrong because nothing was spawning in. Then I read the wiki and saw that there needs to be an NPC nearby, which I don't have. So I put a house in and waited for night to get the princess to move in. When she did, everything worked pretty good until the first saucer. I realized I can't exactly damage it in here without a good yo-yo or the piranha gun, so I jumped out and died pretty quick. I did get a laser drill though, which is nice. The next saucer went the exact same way, and to jump to the chase, I didn't beat a single one this whole event. Afterwards, I decided I needed the piranha gun, so I made the dungeon farm a jungle and hoped I would get a key soon. And then I ended day 4 by fighting Queen Slime again because I just wanted to win at something since I spent like 30 minutes on the Martians just to get nothing. It was a pretty rough way to end the day, but it can really only go up from here. I started day 5 by trying to get more seeds from the jungle. I'm kinda stuck right now because I'd like to get a Xenopopper to fight the cultist, and to get that I need to beat the Martians. So if I can speed up getting the piranha gun, I will. I only got 3 seeds, but any help is good. I took out the walls in the middle with me so I can farm without getting dungeon enemies to spawn, which makes it a lot easier. While waiting for the grass to spread, I made another lake in the snow biome because the other one got corrupted, including the one underground. This was for a quest that I got a weather radio from, which is really good. I'm still focused on the farm, so I went back to place more mud blocks in case there wasn't enough for it to register as a jungle biome. Eventually though, I remembered something. I bought a bunch of corrupt seeds from the Dryad during a blood moon and took them to the dungeon. I planted them in the mud, then clementated them to make them regular jungle grass, which worked perfectly. Now I can farm here for my key. The farm works pretty good and also farms magic quivers from the skeleton archers and armor polish from the armored skeletons, both of which I still need a few of. I sat in there for like 20 minutes and got the key, so I guess it wasn't all for nothing. I shimmered an armor polish to make an armor bracing and put that in the chest. Then I went to actually get the piranha gun. Something funny I realized is that shadow keys can still spawn in these chests even though they're only actually useful in pre-hard mode. I reforged it to demonic for now and replaced the onyx blaster for it. I did another angler quest in my new snow pond and got fin wings, which is really nice. I've done enough quests now that I should be starting to get more items more frequently. After putting them in the chest, I have a feeling we're pretty much halfway, maybe even a little bit over. I was about to summon in the Martians and talk to the wizard to buy an ice rod. I also realized I could make the one book that helps NPCs, so I did that real quick. After setting up a probe spawning platform, it didn't take long to find one, and now it's round 2. I pretty much instantly noticed how much easier the event was without having to actually aim my shots, because all I have to do now is hold down left click and they all just die. Eventually the first saucer spawned and everything was going well. I got into the second phase really easily, but then I noticed a problem. I can't infinitely fly. This actually makes it so much harder because I have to land every once in a while, and if I land in one of the scraps, I take a ton of damage. I did exactly that and then died, but I have a plan. I built a long tower of mud straight up so when the next saucer comes, I can grapple onto that and refresh my wings. I didn't actually use that at all, but the thought was there and I beat the saucer. I was hoping to get a cosmic car key so I can actually attack the saucers the way I would like to, but instead I got a Xeno staff. Another saucer spawned in almost instantly, so I did the exact same thing. At the second phase, I actually used the tower this time and got the car key from it, so it should be a lot easier to farm them now. The next saucer was much easier and dropped an influx waiver, the next one dropped another one, and the last one I got another one. So I still need to farm more for the one thing I want. Another probe means another event, which means more saucers. The first one dropped another cosmic car key, and then I realized the nurse died, so the spawning platform doesn't work here anymore. So I quickly built one at spawn, because even if the NPCs die here, the enemies will keep spawning. Of course, the first saucer that spawns quantum tunnels through the floor and shoots me. The next one spawns right away though, and I was actually able to kill it, and I got another car key. And that was the last saucer again, so I had to find another probe. The next few saucers gave me another car key, a laser machine gun, and another laser machine gun. Then I died in a stupid way, then got an electrosphere launcher, and then finally a Xenopopper, followed by another laser machine gun and another Xeno staff. Now that I don't have to do that event ever again, I'm farming this mushroom biome for Souls of Light, which I get pretty quick and make angel wings. I also got a truffle worm down here, so I'll make an attempt at Duke. I had to fish for some armored cavefish because I was out and wanted to make an endurance potion. I set up a few campfires and sunflowers in the ocean, did a quick quest in case the angler died, and slept today for another one. I wasn't getting to fish in my sky lake, so I built one higher up that works a lot better and will help out a lot later. Then I bought a golf club and a bunch of cups. There's a strategy for Duke I saw and wanted to try out, but first I need 2,000 golf points. When I get there, I'll buy the golf cart mount and use it against the Duke by simply running into him. I saw this in a video by Terraria, and there's a bunch of other strats he shows in there, so you should check it out. I linked it in the description. After like 2 hours of golfing, I was able to buy it and ready to summon it in. I was using the Xenopopper with chlorified bullets because they do a lot of damage and the homing is really nice. Everything was going really well when I got to the third phase. I had full health, only 16 seconds left on my potion cooldown, and I was ready to whip out the golf cart. I took a few hits, but I got the hang of it pretty quick and killed it pretty easily. I only need one accessory from Duke, which is his wings, and I got it on the first try, which is a huge sigh of relief. They were better than my current wings, so I put the spooky wings in the chest. An added bonus of these is that you move faster in water, so that might be useful at some point. I added my golf ball to the chest and decided to go back to the temple and dig a hole straight into it. I need a bunch of eyes of Golem to make destroyer emblems, plus a few more sunstones, but to get them I need power cells. I have like 6 from chests, and I don't know why I'm sitting here, but it's probably for a good reason. I'm also getting solar tablet fragments since I need to get a few things from an eclipse. When I got out, I fought Golem and lost because I'm stupid. I didn't lose my 47 gold though because I teleported home before I died. I did another fishing quest and got the hotline fishing hook, which is cool but not really useful since I already have a bunch of hell bugs I can use. Apparently I got the sextant at some point before that because I was able to make a cell phone, which means I only need 2 more of each information accessory. Anyways, I fought Golem again and still died, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I went back with an endurance potion this time and things went a lot better, and I got a heat ray that time. The problem with fighting Golem is that he has so many different drops that it can take forever to get the one that you want, especially if you need multiples of it. I fought him again while I still had the endurance buff, and it went pretty much the same way, and I got a stinger. I fought him again and used it against him because I wanted to see if it was any good. It was okay but not great, so I swapped to see if the piranha gun was any better. It did the job and I got the Golem fist. I kept fighting Golem and got a pick saw before dying on the next one. I grabbed another potion and went back and got a sunstone. I really want to get an eye so I can make a recon scope, so I'm gonna keep fighting it. My last power cell gave me another sunstone, meaning I don't need to get any more of them, just eyes of Golem. I got another cell pretty quick and fought it again and got another sunstone, but something else, my first dev set. There are 18 dev sets in the game, 17 of them having wings and 2 of them having another accessory. I'm counting all of these, so I basically need to get every single set. And with a 1 in 16 chance to drop from a treasure bag, it's gonna take some grinding, but that's for later. Right now, it's really good that I got one because any that I get before grinding is basically a bonus. I sat in my box again for a while, letting the tiger farm lizards for me. When I came back, I saw the lizard pet, so that's what I used for the rest of the playthrough because it's just the best pet out of all of them. I had 5 cells, which I used instantly, except that I died at the first one. Back at home, I put the wings in the chest and put up a mannequin in the not-so-temporary saucer farm. I'll put all of the dev sets I get in here so you can see the progress as they come. Then I went to the corruption to get some even sand. Golem can wait for a bit, and I'd like to put an end to all of the Ankh shield parts, so I need to farm some blindfolds. I took this sand to the dungeon farm because the fact that it's a jungle biome makes farming a lot faster. Something I noticed was clingers being annoying, but if I block myself off with blocks, their shots can't get to me. I got a blindfold almost instantly, another 2 like 5 minutes later, and a 4th shortly after. Then I went back home to tally all the parts together. 4 blindfolds, 2 Bezors, a megaphone, a fast clock, a Nazar, 1 vitamins, and a trifold map. After shimmering 2 blindfolds and a Bezor, I was almost able to make the Ankh charm, only missing a single armor polish, plus I had an extra pair of reflective shades to put in the chest. I did another angler quest, got nothing good, then played around with the cannon. Money hasn't been an issue for a while because I have 22 platinum coins and pretty much nothing else I have to buy anymore. I took out the sand in the dungeon farm because chances are I'll have a better chance at getting the 1 armor polish while farming rusty armored bones than farming corruptors. This also lets me farm other dungeon drops like the Bone Lee stuff, which I get 2 tabbies pretty quick. Eventually I realized the problem. The background walls I place only spawn rusty armored bones, not the blue armored bones that drop the armor polish, so I just took them out. This lets regular armored skeletons spawn, and although spawn rates are slower, get more chances at the drop. Down here I got a cochineal beetle banner, which is just funny because it's kind of a rare enemy. Eventually I just went home because my inventory was kind of full and I really wanted to do something else. I spent some time clearing out the extra accessories chest and put a tabby in the actual chest. I realized that since I did all of that golfing earlier, I was able to buy the hunter's cloak from the clother. There's 2 ways to get it, and since I didn't expect to do golf at all in this playthrough, my plan was to get it through the traveling merchant, but this works too. Then I made master ninja gear. The dash, plus the chance to dodge and the ability to hold on the walls is really nice and just make it better than the Shield of Cthulhu, so I replaced that. Then I did another angler quest and got nothing but a painting. Then I decided to summon in the pirates again. I really just wanted a change of pace, so why not? I still needed most of the accessories from here, so it's not a complete waste of time, plus it's really easy with the piranha gun. It took like 3 minutes to do and I got a bunch of gold from it, but no accessories. It's honestly fine though because I can just farm pirate maps whenever I want. Then I did another angler quest, got nothing, then summoned in an eclipse. I need a few things from here, mainly a few Neptune shells and moonstones, plus Mothorn wings, a broken bat wing, and a broken hero sword for the zenith. I'm mainly using the stake launcher for the whole event because whenever I see a vampire, I can basically insta-kill it. The stake launcher does 10 times damage to them because of the whole wooden stake through the heart thing. By the end of the event, I had 2 moonstones, 3 hero swords, and Mothorn wings, but no Neptune shells, which is kind of sad because I really wanted to make a celestial shell. I put a moonstone in the chest and made another one into a celestial stone for later. I realized I hadn't put a radar in the chests yet, so I did and put the Mothron wings in as well. Then I remembered a bunch of other things I could make wings out of, so I made the butterfly, ice, and bee wings and put them in too. Then I wanted to make the Terra blade, or at least make a dent on the other resources I needed. I took a Splunker to the jungle to get the chlorophyte for a true Excalibur. I mined 48 bars worth, which should be enough. I'm not able to make it just yet because I need more souls of sight, but I have an extra twin spawner, so I should be able to get them. The fight went really easy and I got the souls I needed. I put a hold on that while it was still night to summon a blood moon at the ocean. I wanted more pirate maps, and this is a half decent way to farm them. I only got one, but that's better than none, I guess. I did an angler quest that morning and got the high test fishing line, meaning I can make the angler tackle bag after 40 plus hours. I still need 2 more of each of those, but that shouldn't take as long now that my line can't break. I summoned in the pirates again and realized that the same thing with having an NPC nearby to get the Martians to spawn applies to the pirates, so I just piranha gunned them from spawn. I got a lucky coin off the last Flying Dutchman plus another gold ring, so all I need now is a discount card and 1 more lucky coin. Then I wanted another map, so I went to the spot on the coast and was about to summon in a blood moon, but one just summoned in itself. By the end of this one, I had 5 maps, which is hopefully enough. After one invasion, I got 2 more gold rings and nothing else. The next one I got nothing. The third I got my second lucky coin. The fourth one I got nothing again, and then finally got both of the cards on my last map. Then I realized I wasn't done. So I knew most crafting trees in Terraria at this point, but the one for the greedy ring is weird. While I was playing, I thought it was the 3 combined together in one step, like the angler tackle bag, but it's not. There's the in-between step called the coin ring, that is the lucky coin and the gold ring. That means I need 3 of both of those, plus that gets combined with the discount card for the greedy ring. I already have both of the discount cards, but because of that I need another gold ring and a coin. I still had one of those 2 extra rings from earlier, so all I need now is another coin. And so it was back to farming the blood moon in the ocean. This one gave 4 maps, except that I'm not done yet. I might as well use this spot to farm the eclipse because I still need Neptune's shells, plus I can get maps here. After farming the whole event, I had 7 maps and 2 shells, so I'll need to get 1 more shell at some point. Plus I got the Batwing. I finally made my Celestial Shell because I actually wanted to use it and replace the Worm Scarf with it. Then I made some Batwings, and here's the progress on chest number 5. Then it was back to grinding the pirates. I got nothing from the first map, got nothing from the second map, and the third I finally got my other coin. So I made the coin ring, and now I can finally be done with the pirates. I was doing another angler quest, and while fishing I got another thing of vitamins but got nothing from the quest. I shimmered the vitamins into armor polish and finally made the Ankh charm to put in the chest. With that out of the way, I wanted to try something new. I've had this prismatic lacewing in a chest and I wanted to try to beat the Empress of Light. I grabbed my potions and summoned it in. I died after like a minute. I didn't really know what to do to dodge, so I'm gonna save it till after the Moonlord. So I went back to something I was comfortable with, grinding Golem, where I died to the first one I fought. I needed a win because my morale was at an all-time low. So why not try the next boss in line that I could easily die to? I grabbed my potions and summoned in the Lunatic Cultist. The Xenopopper and Chlorophyte bullets worked pretty well here too, but the problem came pretty quick. Cause I was fighting him so high up, a wyvern spawned and I wanted to take care of it while it was doing its decoys thing. I was about to get back and hit the right guy when it timed out and spawned a dragon anyways. I didn't even kill the wyvern, so now there's a cultist, the wyvern, and a phantasm dragon all trying to kill me at once. I died after like 5 seconds. It was grim. I got up and let the game pause for a while. This was the lowest low I've had so far. Losing to the Empress, losing to Golem with post-Golem gear, and losing to the Cultist. When I came back, I was ready to lock in. I made an endurance potion and brought back Golem. The 10% of damage I don't take from that one potion is always somehow enough to let me beat it. I didn't get an eye, but a win is a win. So I did it again while I still had the potion and it went basically the same way. Then I thought I still have 40 seconds left of this potion, so I'll try to fit in one more fight. So I tried and it went basically the same as the other 2, and from these 2 bags I got 2 sunstones. I had 1 more power cell, so I went at it with no potions. The Xenopopper was great for the second phase, and I beat it without a potion, which is huge for me. I didn't get an eye, but it sure felt good. I got another cell right afterwards, so I won again, beat it, and got another heat ray. I was out of cells, so it's back to the box. After a little while, I had 4 more, so I went at it again. I got a possessed hatchet, a stinger, a staff of earth, and another sunstone. I have gotten every other drop instead of the one I wanted, which is absolutely nuts. And so I went back to the box to get some more cells. Then I realized if it's taking this long to get 1 eye, I should probably make a better way to farm them. So I worked on a basic pyramid farm. It was a little small, but it did the job. I got a cell and went right back to the slot machine that is called Golem. another sunstone, then another grind, another cell, another fight, and another bag. This one though actually gave me the eye, so it was time for a recon scope. Or it would have been if I had a putrid scent, but grinding corrupt mimics is another battle. I got another jungle key while grinding cells and remembered seeing that you can shimmer them for a chest, so I did that for funsies. Then it was time for a soul grind. I was mining out a big chunk of the underground corruption, but forgot how close I was to the underworld. I didn't notice a red devil's trident coming at me through the lava and got hit by it, insta-killing me with 475 damage. That's master mode for ya. I just kept building while farming. I know I'll eventually need this for other things later, so I might as well do it now. I came back up with 44 souls, just about 3 corrupt mimics. I took a detour to do another quest, and while fishing I caught a frog leg, something I forgot about until now. So the frog leg is interesting. They're only caught while fishing, and fishing is a beast of a mechanic, so I'll sum it up real quick. There are 6 rarities of catches: plentiful, common, uncommon, rare, very rare, and extremely rare. Of course, the frog leg is extremely rare, and with my current fishing power, it's around a 5% chance per cast to catch one, and for each accessory, I need 5. But that's another grind I can do later. The quest gave me nothing, but I got a pink pearl, which I shimmered for a galaxy pearl. Then it was mimic grinding time, for the second time. I got the putrid scent on my first try, which is a nice change of pace after Golem, and now I have my recon scope. Then it was time for what it was all for in the first place, the cultist refight. I made high velocity bullets because I didn't know what else to use, made my potions, and summoned him in. Things were already better than the first one because I didn't time out the decoys. Everything was fine up until the next decoy phase. Since it's raining, an angry nimbus spawned, which the desert tiger is fixated upon for some reason. Since I'm below the cultist and the nimbus is above me, a decoy and the nimbus overlap, and the tiger hits a decoy, which is not good. As soon as the phantasm dragon spawns, a wyvern decides to spawn too, so it's a repeat of last time, but I've learned from them. I swapped to the stake launcher and dealt massive damage to the dragon, taking it out while I have 250 health left. I got hit by the wyvern and potion, but it's low. I hear it get taken out off screen, so I know it's just back to me and the cultist. I had survived what was my downfall last time, and I was ready to finish it once and for all. Another decoy phase, this time with 5 of them. I took my time and got it right, getting rid of the other ancient cultist from the first mistake. After all of that, he's still on 3/4 of his health, but some nice dodges get me back to full while he's on a third. I don't make another really bad mistake the whole rest of the fight. He's down and now it's time for the lunar events. I went for Vortex first because I'm playing Ranger. I learned a strategy for this pillar and tried it here. Nothing that spawns here can hit through blocks or even a 1 block gap from above, so by digging underneath, they can't hit you and makes it really easy to grind. I got the pillar's shield down, but realized something. Another reason for the 1 black hole above you is there's a portal that spawns above you and spawns hornets. I didn't know it worked like that, so when I had the idea to dig underneath the ground to get to the pillar, I was cornered and died. So I went back and the same thing happened again, but I realized what happened this time. My third try was better. Rather than going directly beneath the pillar, I used the piranha gun to deal damage from further away. It did the job, but gave a really small amount of fragments, which sucks. I made a vortex speeder and went to the Stardust pillar. I'm pretty sure the phantasm is just better, but I like guns, so I'm going with it. The strat for Stardust is to bring a cell out of range of the pillar so nothing else spawns, kill it, let it regrow, and repeat until you get 2 banners, letting you know you killed the 100 required enemies. I let a few too many cells grow up and got swarmed and died, but it's fine. This time I went back with a phantasm and it all went much better. When the pillar opened, I had a ton of cells on me, but if I went in a circle above it, nothing could hit me. So I took out the pillar first, then dealt with the 25-ish enemies on my tail by teleporting home and running back to collect the fragments. I made a Stardust Dragon Staff because it's the best summon in the game, then went to the Nebula pillar. I used yet another strategy here. By building a specific setup with 5 blocks and a spawning platform below, it breaks the Nebula Floater's AI and they can't hit you, and neither can anything else, most of the time. Sometimes a brain suckler would get inside, but I was able to deal with it, most of the time. After the shield was down, I just went at it and killed it before dying myself. Back at home, I shimmered the beater because I realized it wasn't that good, then did some basic prep. I made my potions and found another prismatic lacewing in a chest. If I could get a soaring insignia, I would be in a pretty good spot for the Moonlord fight, so I tried to beat the Empress again. It went about the same as last time. Then I fought Prime again to get some Souls of Fright. I needed a few of those and some Souls of Might to make the True Knight's Edge, so I beat both bosses, crafted it, and then made it right into a Terra Blade. And that's where I decided to end on day 5. And here we are on the next day, and now it's time to actually beat the game. I ran over to the solar pillar to try to take it out real quick. The way it spawned was a little bit unfortunate because the enemy spawning range is right underneath this tree, so it's like a choke point that doesn't work in my favor. Oh, just go attack it from the other side. I raise you this, I'm stupid, and I only know how to run left. It's also not great how everything pools at the bottom of this ledge, so that when I try to fly above them, I get hit by Kroltipedes and die. This happens for a while until I remembered that I have the ability to run to the right and tried it from this side. This worked a little bit better because I'm not basically trapped in a tree. I kept whittling away at it by going inside the spawning range, killing them outside of it, and then regenerating my health with the shiny stone before repeating that. When the shield went down, I just ran in guns blazing, and that worked somehow, and now I have 1 minute until I will most likely die. I made some more super potions and got ready. I planned on fighting the Moon Lord at the old Martian farm because it's flat, and I moved the nurse in over here a while ago just in case I need it. When it spawned in, I lasted about 20 seconds. I don't know what I really did wrong here because if I didn't stay that close to the eye, I still would have died to the death ray, but that's just me. I ran out of vortex fragments, so I had to craft some more just to make a celestial sigil, so if I lose this one, I have to do the lunar events all over again. I really don't want to have to do that again, so I came up with a plan. I shimmered a water bucket to a honey bucket, built another house, and bought some bubbles. My plan is to try to cheese the Moon Lord, at least till the point that the 3 eyes are down. I put the honey in between the bubbles in a chair so my health regen is as high as it can get without making some major sacrifices. Then I slept tonight to have the nurse move in instantly and was ready to go again. During the fight, I noticed the problem pretty quick. I could pretty easily hit the top and the left eyes, but the one on the right was through the nurse's house and I couldn't get it. Eventually those 2 eyes were out with the other one still in more than half health. Those 2 eyes started circling around and whatnot, and the nurse died, which means now I have a timer for how much longer I would live for. I ended up getting the core open, but I didn't last long after that. Now I have to do the pillars again, so I might as well figure out a way to fix that problem. I set up this same honey chair thing on the other side so I can swap sides once the health on one eye gets low. Then I fought the cultists again. It was so much easier because of the Phantasm and Stardust Dragon, but then right at the end of the fight, something really bad happened. So this is called an Ancient Doom. It's a projectile that the cultist spawns in Expert and Master mode that stays in one spot, then fires off slowly into the 4 directions. It's pretty easy to dodge if you know it's there. That's why if you get hit by it, it does a base 402 damage. I did not know it was there. 323 damage later, I'm on 4 health and I can't potion. My plan was to run. If none of his attacks can reach me, I can't get hit and die. He's only on a quarter health, so if I can just get my potion off, I can finish him off pretty easily. Then I remembered, I have the nurse literally 10 seconds away, so I healed over there and realized the problem with running away. There's now 2 ancient cultists that make this a little bit more difficult. They spawn in a lot more ancient dooms, and that makes it so it's a literal wall of death. After flying really high and getting blessed with no wyverns, I beat him again. Now for the pillars. I know nobody really cares to see the pillars for a second time, so here's a quick rundown. I did catch a frog leg in between somewhere and made that into a frog ear, but back to the speed up. Another side thing, I changed up my armor a bit. Since Shroomite legs aren't great and the set bonus sucks, I swapped them with Spooky legs for an extra minion slot. Now that those are over with, I have another minute to wait until I can test my setup. When he spawned in, it was more of the same as last time. I got the left and top eye down pretty low, so I swapped to the other side, which was risky, but it worked. My plan is to now completely take out the right eye, then wait until the nurse dies, then try to finish it off. I got kind of screwed because the nurse died right when I took 2/3 of my health, so I didn't last long, but I was onto something. And now I have more fragments for sigils, so it's just a matter of time. I got my potions back and tried again. It was the same thing again at the beginning, just whittling down the eyes until it's time to run. I chose a pretty bad time to switch sides because the death ray was about to shoot, but I noticed and flew above it just in time. I timed it right this time and all the eyes were out within 2 seconds of each other. Because of it, I didn't wait for the nurse to die, thinking that if I got low after this, I could swoop back down and heal if I needed to. Then I'm using another strategy I saw. One part of the Moon Lord does less damage than everything else, and that's the sockets of the eyeballs after they're out. Defense calculations are weird, but basically if something does less than about 80 damage with my current armor, I take 1 damage. This socket does 80 damage in all difficulties for some reason, so if I just chill inside of it, I can imbue invincibility frames to take almost no damage. That only works till I reach the top of the world because the UFO is too slow to reach the hands, so I just got a circle. After some unneeded hits and a great time for a random dodge, he was low enough that I think I can take him out before the eyes shoot death rays again. And that's exactly what happens. After sitting through the credits, I opened the treasure bag and got the Gravity Globe and Celestial Starboard, along with a Terrarian and an SDMG. It's not the best I could have gotten, but I can use the Terrarian to hopefully beat him again. I also shimmered the Rod of Discord into a Rod of Harmony. I've barely used it at all before this because I honestly forgot I had it and I probably won't use it that much still. I also shimmered the Phantasm because the fragments for sigils was better than having a bow that is worse than my new gun. I also shimmered the Recon Scope because I'm pivoting to melee for better damage on the Terrarian. I equipped Mechanical Glove and took the Yo-Yo bag out of storage. This is the only time that I reclaimed something and I didn't want to, but getting another bag is tough and I just don't care to do it. I made 2 pieces of solar armor, then shimmered the Shroomite for Chlorophyte. I also made turtle pants but really wanted Beedle, but I didn't keep any husks, so I grinded for a power cell. I'd probably be okay with turtle pants, but there's really no point on risking it. Golem was quick and I got 21 husks and made my pants. I did remake my potions because I don't know how much I'll need them, then summoned them back in. I got out all the eyes and was on a quarter health, so I dropped down mid-fight to get a heal and that did the job. I got a last prism and a rainbow staff. Both of those are pretty bad for me, if not the worst drops I could ask for, but I was able to finish my armor. The set bonus of solar armor is a dash attack, so I retired the ninja gear for a warrior emblem because more damage is better. My endgame loadout is pretty much complete, with the only other thing being is I need a magma stone for a fire gauntlet. I was once again out of fragments, so I fought the cultists again and it took less than 30 seconds to beat. Pillars content is now on your screen. The Moon Lord was unfortunate because I had to pause in the middle of it for a while, which threw me off, but now I have more fragments, so I don't have to craft anything other than sigils. I made less potions because I didn't want to waste them and that worked just fine, and I got the rainbow staff again and the lunar portal staff, which is okay. I do still need both swords though. I'm pretty consistent in taking out the Moon Lord, so I'm just gonna skip most of the fight. I got the Meowmere from the next one and another Meowmere from the next one. Then I remembered I have to craft the 5 different monoliths, so I made the void one with the extra luminite. The next Moon Lord gave a 3rd Meowmere and the lunar flare, which I forgot existed. The next one gave me both staffs again, so it's back to the pillars. Now that those are done, the Moon Lord dropped the Star's Wrath, so I can now finally stop fighting this guy. I also have a ton of fragments to work with, so I made each of their wings. Then I got ready to make the Zenith, except that I was missing a few swords. I went to kill Plantera to get the Seedler and got it on my second try. Then I needed the Horseman's Blade, so I summoned in the Pumpkin Moon. I think I still need a few things from this, so it's not just for the one item. After I saw I got it, I tried to go home and skip today, but I died in the process. Afterwards, I made the Zenith instantly and had 2 Necromantic Scrolls and a bunch of Black Fairy Dust for Tattered Fairy Wings. I made a Papyrus Scarab first, made the wings, then realized 1 scroll was extra. I reforged the Zenith, then summoned in the Empress. It was so much easier with the Zenith and felt a little scummy but not too bad, plus I got the Soaring Insignia. I also somehow got the Stellar Tune on my first try, which is useless but neat. I still need to get other stuff from her, so I went again but got nothing. Then I made the other 4 monoliths, then another angler quest that gave me another high test fishing line. Then it's time for something I've been dreading for a while. Revisiting the Old One's army. I need 3 more accessories. The Huntress's Buckler, the Monk's Belt, and Betsy's Wings. I got the wings on my second try, so now I just have to hit 2 16% chances from the Ogre. I got the Buckler after another 2 and the Belt on the next one. Then I fought the Wall of Flesh again. I need another emblem for a normal Avenger emblem, so I made it and put it in. I did another angler quest and got the Pocket Guide again. It feels really nice to know that all of the quests I've done so far are actually paying off. Then I wanted to try something. A problem that I have is that wyverns keep spawning in my pond in the sky, so my thought was to keep that from happening, I built a town up here. They massively decrease spawn rate, so it should help. That plus a peace candle and a sunflower should prevent anything from spawning. Right now is a bunch of prep for later stuff, like how I'm buying crimson seeds plus steampunk wings. I also bought specter goggles from the cyborg. I planted the seeds on the floating island for a plan I have later. Then I'm farming hell again before ditching and going to the corruption farm to expand it a bit. There's another part that I'm worried about that I mentioned way earlier and you may remember it, but I'm planning for it now. After a while I came back up and tried to move the steampunker into the Crimson Sky Island, but it wouldn't let me. My plan was to buy Red Solution, but after a quick look up on the wiki, I found out that you just can't get it in a corruption world. I did another angler quest and got the tackle box. Soon I can start manipulating the item that it gives me, but until then I won't worry about it. I bought a bunch of seeds and took them to the corruption farm. I said it when I was making the world, but I need to kill crimson mimics, and the only way I can do this is to have them naturally spawning in this farm underground. And since I can't get solution, I have to plant a bunch of seeds, so it's time to block swap the whole thing with dirt. Then it's time for the seeds. I can't tell if it's working, so while I wait for the seeds to spread, I might as well expand the farm a bit. The easiest easiest way for me to tell if it's working or not is if the cursed hammers changed into cursed axes, and that hasn't happened yet, so I kept expanding. I did a quest and got more finwigs, so I sold them and came straight back down. After some more seeds, I took another break to do some lava fishing. I only need a few more things from here, so if I can knock out any, it's good. I got 2 lava-proof fishing hooks and 2 flamewaker boots, which is everything I think I need. I bought this stuff to make specter boots and turned a pair into hellfire treads. Then I mined some hellstone. It was one of the only few parts of the DCU that I needed, and it could help my speed up digging a bit. Then I had to mine some chlorophyte, killing planteras as I saw the bulbs. This paid off because from one of the bags I got Safeman's dev set, which is 2 total now. Then I needed some more specter bars, so I got some ectoplasm, and after that I was able to make it. Then I mined a ton on the outside of the farm to make sure it was a crimson biome. I also got a magma stone, so I was able to make my fire gauntlet. I've had a bloody spine in my inventory for a while now, and it was time to actually kill the brain to get my brain of confusion. The farm was done, so I just sat in here for a while. I need a bunch of mimics because the flesh knuckles are only a 20% chance and I need 3. But then I had another idea and it involved a big hole in the map. I googled Terraria biomimic farm and found a design by Portal Mech. Links to him and his farm are in the description. It uses a hoik to move the mimics without aggroing them and kills them with lava, which is the only way they take damage without aggroing. The spawning chamber is actuated, so everything that spawns in is forced into the hoik. I put a jungle underneath to juice up the spawn rates and a crimson far enough away that it won't spread, but I still get the biome. I put a conveyor belt underneath because sometimes mother slimes fall out, but that's basically it. I stopped to do another angler quest and got an earring, so I was able to put the whole angler tackle bag in the chest, which finished out the 5th chest. I was hoping to AFK at the farm, but at least wanted to see if I wouldn't die while I was asleep. Eventually a mimic did spawn and everything seemed to be working fine, just taking a while. It was on its last sliver of health when I saw that the skeleton merchant was in its holding spot with it. That's a problem and not supposed to happen, so I think I built the farm wrong, especially when he threw a bone at the mimic, which woke it up. My inventory was prepped for an AFK session, so my zenith was in the chest below me. I got really lucky though, because even though it hit me for a quarter of my health, it died to the solar armored set bonus, with the icing on top being getting the first pair of flesh knuckles. This was something that I needed to fix before leaving, so I jumped in and tried messing with a few things. I don't know how most of this works, so hopefully I don't ruin the whole thing. After making the ceiling a bit higher, I waited again to see if I would die. I got one, then had an idea. The mimics are spawning pretty often because I've gotten 2 in like 10 minutes, so I can just sit here, wait for one, and use the sword to kill it without having to worry about dying. The only thing is I can't be AFK to do that, so I proceeded to sit here for the next 2 hours until 2 in the morning to get the other 2 flesh knuckles. I got them, but I'm also not getting up before 11 tomorrow. When I came back up, I had a mimic and a nymph banner, 15 platinum coins, 600 souls of night, and the hallow was underneath one of the houses. I of course went to bed as soon as I could. The first thing I did on the next day was get out the terraformer and push back the hallow, then I fought the wall again for another emblem. After a quest, that emblem turned into a recon scope to put in the chest. Then I got another emblem from the wall, which I'm keeping for later. Then I went over to the temple. I cut out a fishing hole over here so when I farm power cells, I can also try to get crates for some other things I need. After it was done, I summoned a blood moon and started fishing. There's one item that I'm kind of worried about and it's really stupid. It's the blood moon monolith. It's a 1 in 10 from the Dread Nautilus, and because it's already hard to fight it anyways, it's gonna be a grind. I didn't catch one the entire night, but I had a cell. I got a heat ray from it, then realized I only had 1 cell from that entire night. So I sat and fished again, caught 2 crates, and got another cell. From Golem I got yet another sunstone, and from the crates I got a staff of regrowth and an anklet of the wind. I don't know if I'll need the anklet, so I'll keep it for now. Another 8 minutes of fishing and I got 3 crates and 4 cells plus another lizard egg. After fighting all of them I got 0 eyes, which sucks. So I went home and did another angler quest, which gave me my 3rd and final high test fishing line. Then it was time to open the crates. A boomstick and 2 fishing rods. Great. What I'm really looking for is flower boots. I got one from a random chest earlier, but I need a second one to turn them into fairy boots. They only have a 5% chance to come from crates, so it could take a while. But if Golem's not helping me, I can still fish while farming power cells. But to be honest, I kind of want to break from that. So I ran into the underworld for another thing I need to farm. Red devils. I need to get the fire feather from them so I can make flame wings. It's only a 2% drop chance though, so to make it a bit easier on myself, I renovated the farm. I finished the farm, and by farm I mean it's a big platform that doesn't let enemies spawn anywhere else. While farming I have the added bonus of getting magma stones and souls of light, both of which are useful later. After like 30 minutes I came back up with 2 magma stones and no feather, but I made beetle wings, a molten quiver, and shimmered a magma stone to a lava charm to make a molten skull rose, so at least something was accomplished. Then I went over to the dungeon farm. I need to get another difficult accessory from over here, or at least a few of them. That is the Paladin's Shield, and I need 3 of them for the regular one, the Hero Shield, and the Frozen Shield. After sitting in there for a little bit, I noticed none were spawning in, so I checked the wiki and saw that they spawn more often on one type of wall, and it's not the one that I'm using. So I grabbed my green bricks and made it into the right wall, shimmered it, and replaced the old stuff. The DCU and hint of creation helped a lot here. I instantly noticed that more were spawning. I got one after like 5 minutes, so I went home and made it into a hero shield. I still need the other two, but getting one that fast is pretty nice. Then I did an angler quest and got nothing, but you might notice something interesting in my inventory. I've gotten everything I need from the pumpkin moon, but I still need to do the frost moon. There's only one accessory that comes directly from it, and that's the festive wings from the Everscream, but I need 2 others from presents. Those are the hand warmer and the toolbox, a 0.58% and 0.288% chances respectively. Anyways, I slept tonight and summoned it in. The event wasn't hard, mostly because I have endgame gear. After like 3 whole minutes of sorting loot, I had the wings on the first try. Now I had 1 day of Christmas to try and kill as many enemies as possible for presents, and that's gonna happen in the dungeon farm. This also has the added benefit of farming for those 2 other paladin shields I need. I got them both in less than 10 minutes, which is absolutely nuts. After all day and night, I had 80 presents, and after opening them all, I got 1 toolbox. I just need the hand warmer yet, so I better get back to grinding when it turns night. Till then, I did another quest, and while fishing, I got another frog leg and the angler earring from the quest. I turned the frog legs straight into amphibian boots and put them right into the chest. Then I saw 2 other frog legs in there and made frog webbing to put in, and then put the OG frog leg in as well. And now time for yet another project. I'm digging out the snow biome. I said earlier about the frozen shield being made out of the paladin shield, and I need the other part of that. That is the frozen turtle shell, and it's only in this one recipe, so I only need 2 of them, plus it's a 2% chance, which is not great for me. But I also get to look for more ice skates while I'm doing this. It's like the 4th or 5th giant hole in the map, but it's done, plus I got some skates. Now all I need is the center platform. In the process of making the hole, it's not a snow biome anymore, but that shouldn't matter. I built the platform and realized that it did in fact matter, so I took all the ice and placed it back down to make another snow biome. Only after that did it start working. I went home quick to do a fishing quest that I got nothing from and to make frostbark boots to put in the chest. Then I grabbed the extra crimson seeds from earlier and planted them in some mud blocks down here that got terraformed into a normal jungle. This, like in the crimson mimic farm, increases spawn rates, and that is huge. After sitting here for a while, I found out that if I summon the lunar portal in a 3x3 spot on the side, it keeps everything inside this pit better. I got 2 after like 30 minutes, so all of the time I spent digging kind of felt wasted. But that's just 2 more accessories knocked off the list. Another fishing quest gave me a sextant, then I added a pyramid to the underworld farm. I got 2 magma stones in 5 minutes, so I came back up and shimmered both. One I made into lava waders and the other one was made into a magma skull. Now it's time for me to scroll the list until I find something I need and then either A, get it, or B, grind for it and get bored till I can do something that is easy. Right now that's back to flower boots and golem eyes, so I'm in the temple again. I got 7 crates, 5 cells, 2 balloon pufferfish, and a frog leg. Balloon pufferfish are one of the best items for this challenge. I can shimmer them and turn them into a shiny red balloon, and like I said a while ago, I need 17 of those, so each pufferfish I get is 1 less sky crate I'll need. I teleported home after Golem and was met with a pirate invasion. After dealing with that real quick, I opened up everything. 5 anklets from 7 crates is insane, but Feral Claws lets me make the Berserker's Glove, which is the last of the things I need the Flesh Knuckles for. I also made a Sharkron balloon with a tsunami in a bottle I've kept for who knows how long, and put those in plus the other pufferfish. Golem bags gave me 1 eye, which is better than luck has been so far with those. That I save for later. Then it was back to grinding for the hand warmer, starting with another frost moon. I don't need anything from it this time, so I'm only focused on getting to wave 15. After getting there, I teleported home and skipped today, so I don't have to deal with that anymore. After the whole day in the dungeon farm, I had 89 presents, and after opening them all, I had exactly 0 hand warmers. After a quest, I stayed near the ocean to keep fishing. I still need some flippers and like 2 water walking boots, so if I have time I should use it fishing. I caught 3 crates in 8 minutes and got 2 flippers from them, so it was a time well spent. I turned one of them to a frog flipper that went straight into the chest and got ready for the frost moon again. After getting to wave 15 again, I just sat in the sky with 2 portals blocking wyverns. None of the enemies can spawn up here, and since I can't skip, I'll just have to wait. This also has the added benefit of farming harpies. I need to farm harpies to get the giant harpy feather for harpy wings, and I didn't think much about it until now. It's a pretty rare drop, only a 0.67% chance. I'm getting pretty good spawns up here, and eventually when I drop down to check the loot, I pick one up. Eventually the event ends and I'm back in the dungeon. After this one, I had 103 presents, but before opening them, I made another pair of bone wings so I can keep the ones I have on, so I don't have to hear the constant whirring of the celestial starboard. I also made the harpy wings and put them in too. Then I opened all the presents. Nothing. I had already made another naughty present, so I'm ready to do it again the next night. While waiting for that, I did another angler quest and got nothing useful again, then started fishing in the sky. I still need balloons, celestial magnets, and fledgling wings, so I might as well get some sky crates. Right after I caught one, that got put on hold because I saw that it was sandstorming. I need to get a few forbidden fragments to make sandstorms in a bottle. They can be crafted in the same way as blizzards in a bottle, add a crystal ball with a cloud and a fragment. I opened the crate down here and got a magnet and got 7 fragments before I had to fight the frost moon again. When I got to wave 15, I tried to fish to spend the time, but it was hard since the event gets rid of the decreased enemy spawn rates from a town. I didn't catch anything useful before it was morning, so I went back into the dungeon. I had exactly 100 presents when I came back up. I got another toolbox from them, but still no hand warmer. Then I realized yet another thing I have to do. I needed another cobalt shield because I only got 2 from the dungeon way earlier. The only way to get one is to get a dungeon crate from fishing and unlock a golden lockbox. And so I put yet another fishing hole at the dungeon farm. Then I did a quick run to the jungle to kill Plantera to get another spore sack. I have a loadout just for fishing, so it's not bad to have on there, especially while I'm fishing in the dungeon. No time to fish though, I have to fight the frost moon. I got to wave 15 like usual and knew the sundial was up, so I went to skip time and accidentally hit the moon dial instead. That's 1 click for minus 15 minutes of present farming time. Rather than just spending 9 minutes in the dungeon, I did another frost moon so I can both farm presents with that mistake, plus have another day and night to farm in the dungeon. After wave 15 I did go into the farm because the enemies don't spawn down here, plus enemy spawns are better than in the later waves of the event. I was fishing down here and caught a single stockade crate, which I immediately opened and unlocked and got the shield first try. And with that, it's just back to waiting for presents. After the whole time down here, I had another whoopee cushion, another frog leg, and 123 presents. I only needed the default cobalt shield, so I put that in, then opened some presents. After the first 100 I had nothing, but in the last 20 I got it. So now the frost moon is finally over with and so is the dungeon farm. Now we need putrid scents. It's from corrupt mimics, and since I have a corrupt world, I can just use souls from the crimson farm to make keys of night to summon them in manually. I only needed 1 not combined with anything, and I got it after like 4 tries, so I can keep the rest of the souls for later. Then I need to get bands of star power, and since I broke every orb in the entire world, I need to get crates again. In 8 minutes I caught 3 defiled crates and 2 balloon pufferfish, one of which I crafted into a shark ground balloon to make into a purple horseshoe balloon when I get a horseshoe. The other got shimmered into a red balloon. Then I made a sandstorm in a bottle and combined them for a sandstorm in a balloon which went in, plus an extra sandstorm went in by itself. The crates gave 1 band, which I combined with a heart crystal in a graveyard to make a panic necklace. I made that into a sweetheart necklace with a honeycomb that I've had since the queen bee grind. I still need another one to put in by itself, but I can do that later. Then I went to the witch doctor because it's the first night in a while I'm not doing the frost moon and bought leaf wings and a ping bee necklace. I realized I'm gonna need more chests, cause the ones I'm using for the extra things will eventually have actual things in them. So I went and got the best chest in the entire game, the golf chest. Then I did another quest and got the last tackle box I'm gonna need. All I need now is a few more information accessories and that's it. Then I fought the twins a few times. I still need dev wings and have 5 extra mech spawners and time to kill, I might as well do that. Also their trophies add to the ever expanding trophy wall thing. Then I realized I forgot a craft with the putrid scent. I don't ever play as a mage, so when I saw the arcane flower on my list, I had to look up how to craft it and only then I realized. So I made a few chests and got grinding and got one pretty quick, so I made it and took it off the list. Then I quick shimmered a blindfold for a pocket mirror because I forgot to put one of them in somehow. I took a second to terraform a bit because the corruption was moving up the elevator. I kept going down and realized I never actually got the fire feather from earlier, so I can go back to grinding that. The issue with the current farm design is imps. They hit me and I get on fire, which means I can't regen at all. So I kept changing the farm to try to funnel the imps into a single spot. After none of that worked, I went back up with 4 magma stones. I don't know if I'm gonna need them, but I'd rather have them if I do. Then I did yet another quest and got nothing, then right back down, this time with some evenstone. If I need to make boss spawners for dev sets, I might as well get the souls for them while I'm farming something else. This is where I really went all in on trying to stop the imps. This whole setup is really weird and doesn't work at all, but hopefully soon I get the thing I need. After an hour and a half of sitting here, I finally got it, so I went back up and crafted them. While down there, I got a corrupt key, so after a fishing quest where I got the second fishing bobber, I took a detour to the dungeon to open up the chest and got the Scourge of the Corruptor. It's a pretty weird weapon, but I really only did this for the chest. It was morning again when I was done fiddling around with that, so I did another quest and got a weather radio. That let me make the fish finder and put it in the chest. Then I'm back to the temple. I have all the eyes of Golem I need, so I'm really just here to fish, but if I get any cells, I'll fight them for the chance at a dev set. In the 8 minutes I fished, I got 3 crates which gave no flower boots, but I also have 8 cells. After fighting them, I saw 5 Golem pets in my inventory which have a 25% drop chance, so that's pretty rare. But the bags also gave a dev set, which was gems. That's 3 total now. I had a few truffle worms lying around, so I fought Duke for the dev sets as well. In 6 bags, I somehow got another set, Loki's set, so now we're at 4. Then I did another quest in the morning and got the last pocket guide I'll need. All that's left is another sextant and weather radio, and then I'm completely done with quests. Then I summoned in an eclipse. I still needed a few things, and after I got a Neptune's shell and a moonstone, I skipped to night to not deal with it anymore. I made the moonstone into a celestial stone and kept the shell for later. Then I slept to morning to do another quest that gave fin wings again before sleeping back to night. I was looking at the moon phase because I needed another moon charm and saw that it was a full moon, so if I summon in a blood moon on the same night, I should get enough werewolf spawns to get it. After the night, I got 2 plus an eclipse the next day, so I skipped it again, crafted a moon shell, and then put the other charm in the chest. I did another angler quest and got a fish hook, then went to fish in lava. I needed another lava-proof hook, and while fishing for it, I got the demon conch, so I can finally upgrade to a shell phone. I put the hook in the chest and went for another quest and got more fin wings. Then I'm back in the temple fishing some more and still not getting flower boots. Then I fought Golem 6 times and got Senex's set. Then I did that again, getting no flower boots and no dev sets. Something I did get from the crates though was feral claws. I still needed a few of those, and the 2 I got were enough. I made 2 power gloves and turned 1 into a mechanical glove. After another fishing quest fail, I went right back down to the temple for more fishing. I fought the 14 golems I got before opening the crates and got no boots, and the golem bags gave another safe man set. 1 of the 4 I had already. I did keep the extra eyes just in case. I actually needed 2 of them for a sniper scope and a destroyer emblem, so after a wall fight for an emblem I have both of them, plus another eye I kept in the chest. Then I fought the destroyer twice and got nothing from the bags, then did a quest and got yet another pair of fin wings. Then I fished in the corruption again to get another band of star power and got it in the first few crates, so I made a panic necklace and put it in. It's a lot of fishing to do all of this, and before you ask, yes, it sucked the whole entire way through this challenge and there's still a lot to be done. But I was ready to go to bed on this day, so I did, after fighting 20 destroyers and getting no dev sets from the bags. I started the next day by messing around with the portal gun then actually doing a fishing quest. That quest gave me the fish set, then I dug around the jungle for a while. I still need flower boots which can be in chests I haven't found, plus I can try to fight Plantera for the chance at a dev set. After 20 minutes of that, I lost 8 platinum to a spider right next to a new chest. I got a few different things from chests, the most important being a pair of water walking boots that became obsidian and then went into the chest. Another quest gave a bottomless water bucket, then I went to get the stuff I dropped and realized half of it just disappeared, plus the chest was useless. I kept digging around, finding chests, and got another dev set from a treasure bag before a blood moon came. I went to the underground town to fish and caught a painting. After a little while I caught advanced combat techniques, not that it's useful, then caught the first Dread Nautilus. I killed it, but didn't see a monolith drop, so I went back to fishing. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to look at the screen and see if I missed something. It's in front of the painting. It took like 30 seconds for me to realize, but getting that first try is very lucky and takes a huge grind off my shoulders. When the night was over, I tallied up everything I got. 2 flippers, food barbarian set, and the monolith. That's a pretty good haul for the one night. After I got some more useless stuff from a quest, I went fishing in the sky. After 8 minutes, I had 5 sky crates. The first one of those dropped the 1 in 40 fledgling wings. It's nice, don't get me wrong, but I really still need balloons. From the other 4, I got 2 horseshoes, 1 balloon, and another pair of wings somehow. The wings went in the chest, 1 horseshoe went to the shark run balloon from earlier, and the balloon combined with a fart in a drawer and the other horseshoe to make a green horseshoe balloon. Then I fought the wall of flesh again because I'm still running out of emblems. That eventually became a celestial emblem, and all 3 of them went into the chest. Then it's time for another grind that I'm honestly kind of looking forward to. I still need 2 things from the Empress of Light, and both of them are pretty rare. I need her wings and the rainbow cursor, a 10% and a 5% chance respectively. But to summon her in, I need prismatic lace wings. They only spawn in the Hallow between 7:30 PM and midnight, which is not a long time. Blood moons though can speed this up because the game treats them like enemies, but it's still gonna take a while. The first night dropped 5 lace wings, and since no more are gonna spawn, I'm just gonna fight them now before the night's over. After all 5, I got a pair of wings but no cursor, so I have to do it all again. I also put one of the soaring insignias in the chest too. My basic schedule now is to do a quest, spend the rest of the day fishing for balloons, then go to the Hallow to catch lace wings at night and fight them till morning. I got 1 balloon from fishing, which I put a cloud into and then put that in the chest. That night I got 11 lace wings and managed to kill them all before daytime, except one that despawned because I was too far away from the Hallow. I didn't get a cursor from the bags, so the cycle repeats. I got a weather radio from the angler that day, so all I need now is the sextant, and then I'm 100% done with quests. When fishing in the sky, I caught 3 crates and a pufferfish. The crates dropped 2 balloons, so after shimmering the pufferfish, I made a sandstorm in a bottle, then made a bundle of balloons. I still need to do that again with the bundle of horseshoe balloons, but for right now I need more ice skates, so I'm into the underground snow until it's night. I found exactly 0 of them, and then at night I caught 8 lace wings. I didn't bother waiting to open the bags till morning, and I got the cursor from the second one, so after fighting the other 6, I put it in the chest. I fished in the sky again and got 9 sky crates, and from those I got 1 balloon and and 3 horseshoes. Then I did another angler quest and got my sextant, so there's no more angler quests for the entire rest of the challenge. The balloon and a horseshoe were made into the white horseshoe balloon, then I'm back looking for ice skates. After the whole day and no ice skates, this is what the snow biome looks like now. I did some fishing at the ocean for some more water walking boots and caught 5 crates and a balloon pufferfish. I didn't get anything good from the crates, so after shimmering the pufferfish, I went back over to the jungle to get some hive. I need to get another honeycomb for a regular honey balloon, so after mining some honey blocks at the honey pool I never used, I made some spawners and fought Queen Bee a few times. After fighting her 11 times, I got 2, and 1 was made into the honey balloon to go in the chest. Then I grabbed a bunch of evenstone and put it in the sky. This is supposed to be a rotten chunk farm because I still need dev wings and I can use the souls from the Crimson farm to make destroyer summons. After it was done, I realized pretty quick that it was incredibly slow, but I got enough for 9 destroyer summons from it. Then I did another angler quest. The reason for this one is that the angler earring and tackle bag stack with the lava-proof tackle bag and the others, so having extra is a nice bonus for extra fishing power. I got the earring first try, so if I get another one, I'll have all 3 of them. I took that extra fishing power to the snow to fish for ice skates. I caught 2 pufferfish and 1 crate, which I opened before my potions ran out, which had the skates plus the 1 in 40 penguin pet. So I just left halfway through my potions and shimmered the pufferfish and put the skates in the chest. One balloon became a blue horseshoe balloon and the other a yellow horseshoe balloon. Then I'm back to fishing for flower boots. I'm on the surface this time because I don't need to farm Golem anymore because I got all the eyes, and I'm only a short grind away from making a ton of destroyer spawners. I only caught 3 crates and none of them dropped it, but now it's night, so I'm using the 9 destroyer spawners I have. After 1 whole minute of fighting destroyers, I got no dev sets from them. Then I went back to the Crimson Mimic farm. My idea was to convert it into a corruption and get corruptors to spawn here because they can drop rotten chunks, so I'd be able to AFK for them here. So I terraformed the Crimson to corruption and waited to see if it would work. It did, but the only problem was that clingers would spawn and I wouldn't be able to kill them. So I placed a few lunar portals down and that seemed to work pretty well, so I set up an auto clicker to place the portal every 5 minutes or so. And so here I sat, AFK, farming rotten chunks for destroyer spawners, until a corrupt mimic came and it wasn't in the lava for some reason. So I did a little bit of construction to the kill chamber and now they should die to lava again. By the time I left I had 80 chunks, which after shimmering 200 anvils for 1000 iron bars, converts to 13 destroyer spawners. But that's only after like 10 minutes of farming, so after I sleep all night it's gonna be a lot more than that. From the bags got 2 sets, Lazors and Lokis for the second time, but before I could even think about it there was an eclipse which I skipped instantly. After putting that in the chest I went fishing for water walking boots again. I caught 1 crate in 8 minutes and got a breathing reed from it, so I instead just went looking for water chests because fishing all of the time is so boring. I'm only grabbing the cloud into bottles I find in case I need them, and I didn't find any useful water chests. So I went fishing in the temple for crates plus cells for Golem because what I said about earlier about having a ton of the shorter spawners is code for not thinking of this earlier. I caught 7 crates, 2 pufferfish, and got 8 cells. And after opening 1 crate I got flower boots, plus later getting the other 1 in 40 pet, the turtle pet. The Golem fights were pretty standard, and I got another one of Senex's set from the bags, which stung a bit, but now I'm done fishing in the jungle entirely. I made the flower boots and the fairy boots, shimmered the pufferfish, and made a fart in a balloon and a blizzard in a balloon, plus making the other bottles for the other bundle of balloons. Then I'm back to fishing for more ice skates. I need 1 more for arctic diving gear, and after only catching 1 crate in 8 minutes, I somehow got it again. I got another pufferfish, so that got shimmered into a balloon and had a cloud put inside of it for later, while the ice skates were made into diving gear and put in the chest. That's the second to last chest full, which means there's less than 40 things left to go in the whole challenge, and like half of those are dev wings, but that grind is for later. Right now I'm back to fishing in the sky for some more balloons. I caught 9 crates in the 8 minutes and got 3 balloons from them, which is pretty good. Those were made into the bundle of horseshoe balloons, which became the first item in the last chest, followed by the regular lucky horseshoe and a shiny red balloon. But I'm not done fishing just yet. I still need another pair of water walking boots, so I'm at the ocean. I caught 1 crate in like a minute and got them from it, so those went straight into the box. Now I'm at a bit of a standstill. I really want to knock out some of the dev sets, but I'm out of materials to make mech spawners, and Golem is another grind, so it's really not worth it. So I just ran around the jungle looking for plantera bulbs. I fought like 10 and then died to a tortoise, which led to me then doing the goblin army because they kept showing up uninvited. After dealing with that, I thought of something. I had a ton of lenses, so if I can get a bunch of Salt of Light, I can just fight the twins a bunch, and maybe that'll be faster than farming rotten chunks. By the time I was done farming, I had 144 souls, which I made into 24 twin spawners. After fighting all of them, I had 24 bags and somehow 12 of the pets that only drop a quarter of the time. When I opened them up, I only had 1 dev set, another dupe of Loki's, but I went back down to farm some more. I realized if I change the floor in the spawning chamber to evenstone, I can farm both rotten chunks and souls of light at the same time, and when I was done, I had another 16 twin spawners and made 1 prime spawner because I could. After fighting, I went back to the farm to open them because it was a blood moon and got 0 sets from the 17 bags. Since I was out of lenses and just farming chunks is a waste of time, I went back to farming Plantera. One of the first ones dropped a new dev set, Red set. After another 20-ish minutes, I got another one, Your Resource set, which actually has 2 accessories with it. I took them back to the chest and put them on the mannequins before going back down to the farm. I still have a ton of Souls of Night, plus a ton of bones, and since the prime spawners take half the Souls of Light as a twin spawner, I can farm those, so I did. After like an hour of farming, I had enough to make 27 destroyers, 35 primes, and after scrounging around for some more lenses, 16 twin spawners. I spent all night farming and tried to squeeze in one last prime right at the end of the night, but wasn't quick enough. Now I have this giant insta-killing skull moving towards me, and I didn't even damage it before it was day, so I have to hit this thing almost 5,400 times for it to die. I got it down to red in like 8 minutes and was turning around at the world border, but forgot to hover again and died, so there goes one whole treasure bag. After opening all 56 treasure bags for a 1 in 16 drop set for a dev set, I got exactly 1, which is a dupe of gym set. I finished off the last of the prime spawners and got a 3rd gym set, but it was a blood moon, so I went to the Hallow and tried to fight some Empresses. I only got 1 and it didn't drop anything, but the effort was there. Then I sat in the farm some more and came out with 10 destroyers and 50 Skeletron primes. When fighting, I also saw the Empress ones because I saw a Lacewing, but then it's right back to grinding. I just barely managed to get through all 61 fights in one night and had all of the bags to open. I got a 4th gym set from the destroyers, a 5th from the primes, plus a new one, Arcalis' set. And now I'm back in the jungle for more Plantera bulbs. There wasn't that many because I fought all of the ones that grew throughout the challenge and didn't get any sets when I came back. So I sat in the farm again because it's the only actual beneficial thing I can do at this point. So I got some souls and thought of ways to get more lenses. I still had one single way to get them, which was by shippering archery potions for a 1 in 3 chance to get 1 lens. So I did that and decided to keep them for tomorrow and fight everything at the same time. About 2 hours later, I was in bed and realized I was gonna run out of Souls of Night at some point soon. So I got up and changed the farm to Corruption to get more, then I went back to bed. When I woke up, I had one goal: get the rest of the dev wings today, which is also the last few things I need. When I logged in, I had 4,500 light souls and 3,900 night souls, plus the base being completely corrupted, plus more goblins. After fixing the corruption problem, I made all the spawners: 5 twins, 159 primes, and 577 destroyers. That should easily be enough. Night 1, I had 23 bags and got Aaron set and Ghost Stars set. Aaron set is useless to me because it's the only one that doesn't have wings, but Ghost Stars is a nice find. I did still put Aaron set in the mud block rectangle though. Then I slept to night 2. I got 57 primes down and got Safe Man set, D-Town set, and Ghost Stars set. At least one of those sets was new. Then I slept to night 3, killed 62 primes and got Loki set from the first bag, Arcalis' set again, and nothing else. Like I've said before, getting a dev set is a 1 in 16 chance from these treasure bags, so only getting 2 from 62 of them is kind of unlucky. But we go again. Night 4 I had the last 20 primes and 57 destroyer bags. Just from primes bags I got Skiff set, Grox's set, and Chronos set, which means I only need one more, which is Lean Force set. I have 520 destroyers to get it, plus the rest of these bags, and I didn't get it here. Night 5 I got 115 bags in one night, and after Your Resource set, D-Town set, a 6th gym set, Red set, another Loki set, and another Grox's set, I got Lean Force, which, after including the few extra things I have equipped, is every single accessory in Terraria, all gotten from a single world. Or I thought it was. See, I used the wiki's page for accessories to make a list that I could check off as I go, but after 5 days of me thinking I was done, I realized that the page was just wrong. There's an item that the stylist sells that's called the Gentleman's Beard. It was added in with all of the Don't Starve stuff and is kind of weird because it grows when equipped. And of course the one thing I have to just sit and wait for is not on the accessories page for some reason. So here I am, back 1 week after I thought I was done, to get all 3 stages of growth of it. So it takes 12 minutes for this thing to grow 1 stage, and it's not even guaranteed then. And I have to wait for that 3 times over. After about 12 minutes it finally grew, and since it's now technically a different item, I can equip 2 at the same time. The first one grew after less time because I didn't unequip it, so all I need is the second stage, which doesn't take long after. And that's it. That's now every single accessory in Terraria in 8 chests gotten from a single world, was what I thought again for 2 weeks before realizing that the wiki was wrong again. I was missing one more item, which was the Echo Chamber. It's like another monolith except that it's crafted from a bunch of things I have to buy. So I made a graveyard biome for the cyborg, bought some echo blocks, got some wire, made some gray bricks, and crafted it, and put it in the chest. Which means now, finally, that is every single accessory in the game in these 8 chests, all gotten from one world in a little over 100 hours. So what did I think about it? This challenge was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be at the start. Getting no pyramid with a flying carpet in the first world was not a good start, but it really only went up from there. The only downside to that was the incredible amount of fishing that I had to do. Like all the balloons and the grind for flower boots, they were all so incredibly boring. Most things were kinda cool because I never get to craft them, like the Hand of Creation and the Magiluminescence, and making a bunch of farms and little techs here and there for a few specific things was really neat. Also getting all of the non-dev wings was a lot of fun because they're from literally every place and enemy you can imagine, so if I got bored doing something, I could just work on those if I wanted to. But anyways, that's it. Maybe I'll do something else like this eventually, but I have some other ideas that I think could be cool, so keep a lookout for those eventually. I have another big thing I have planned, and I think I'm going to stream that on my Twitch channel, and the link for that's in the description if you want to see the next video happen live. But for now, I'm out. It's been 2 hours, and I think you've seen enough. Peace.